Wondery Plus subscribers can listen to Crime and Sports early and ad-free right now. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts.
In the depths of an Atlanta forest, a clash between activists and authorities ends in tragedy. I'm Matthew Scher, and on my new podcast, We Came to the Forest, we expose the hidden truths behind a shootout that left one activist dead and countless lives forever changed. Binge all episodes of We Came to the Forest ad-free on Wondery Plus.
And welcome to Crime and Sports.
Yay!
Oh, yay indeed, Jimmy. Yay indeed. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I am Jimmie Whisman.
Thank you, folks, so much for joining us today. This is an extra exciting episode. Whenever we take a week off, you know that the following week is going to be crazy. It's going to be off the charts. It's going to be like a roller coaster that leaves the rails and flies off into the sunset. And that's what we have here.
And if you didn't know that, you know that now.
You know that now, and you're going to find that out now. So, wow, do we have a crazy one for you today. Very quickly off the top, because we have a lot of episode, and I don't want to leave out any episode for plugging stuff. So, quickly, please give reviews. They help a lot wherever you listen. 5 stars, say something. It helps us. It's not for our ego. It's nice. Help your boys out. What are you doing over here?
Yeah.
Head over to shutupandgivememurder.com right now. Get all your tickets, live shows. We have on the 8th and 9th of April, we're in Pittsburgh and Columbus. Get those tickets right now for Small Town Murder. They're a lot of fun. So Crime and Sports, we have one show with tickets available in Sacramento in August. So get those right now. Do all of that. Enjoy. Get your merch and everything like that. Patreon.com/crime and sports. You know how great Patreon is from, how about OJ last time? That was amazing. This week, no different, because it's one of our, we do it about twice a year, basically. It's one of our favorites, and it's one of the favorites out there in crime and sports land. We are going to do personal ads. It's
terrific.
It's the best. It's in everybody's top 5 for Patreon, so we're very excited for that. And anybody $5 or above, patreon.com/crime and sports, you're going to get access to not only crime and sports bonus, but also Small Town Murders bonus, the whole back catalog, you name it. And for Small Town Murder this week, which you'll get, obviously, we're going to talk about on the bonus episode the Tinder Swindler documentary.
Oh, my God.
We've had a ton of requests to talk about that. And that kind of behavior really kind of lends itself to what happens in our episodes a lot. So it fits. So we're going to do that. So personal ads and Tinder Swindler, there's kind of a theme there this week. Do that. Patreon.com.
Looking for love.
Looking for love and finding it in terrible, terrible places. Patreon.com/crime and sports. And yes, you'll also get a shout out at the end of the show where Jimmie will mispronounce your name, even though he'd like to pronounce it properly. And you just want to get the shout out and have great karma, go over to PayPal, use our email address, crimeandsports@gmail.com, and you can do all of that. Also, if you have show suggestions, obviously not obvious ones. Don't say, can you do Lawrence Taylor? Yes, we're going to do Lawrence Taylor, Chris Benoit. We'll get to all those. We have to save some heavy hitters for, we got to space this out. But if you have any kind of weird ones, that aren't really talked about, research at shutupandgivememurder.com is the email address. Please do that. That said, let's do this, Jimmie. We have, holy shit, it's a boxer, number one. So, and when we say a brain damage sport, obviously that can be anybody, whether they have whatever kind of brain damage. This week, it really hits hard with the brain damage sport because this guy, you can't understand him talking by his 15th fight. He's
oh no!
What was that like?
Say again?
It's wild. And he has a brother that also boxes and does interviews who speaks much better than him. So you're like, it's not a fact of like, maybe they were raised in a certain way, or it's not like that. He has brain damage and can't speak well because of it. So we're going to talk about Leon Spinks Jr., of course.
Oh, yeah.
And of course, he's a junior. Leon Spinks, one of the craziest stories in the history of boxing, honestly. Like, he is a Rocky Balboa level of like this out of nowhere success that no one saw. It's never happened like this in boxing for another human being before. Like, this is a story like no other. So buckle up. And also the level of goofiness in this shit and crazy. It's Mitch Blood Green, Ike Ibiabuchi level crazy. Like, it's fucking nuts. Nickname Neon. Neon, Neon Leon, I should say. Right. Neon Leon Spinks, born July 11th, 1953. And he always says 7-11. That's my birthday. 7-11. Good luck. So he's the oldest of 7 children.
Okay.
And right away, it's tough at home because they live in the projects, and in St. Louis is where he's born and raised. Yeah. And this is such a terrible, shitty project that by 1972, they just demolish it. In 72, really? That's how
gone?
It's crumbling, deteriorating. It's crime-ridden. It's not good to live there. So Leon, he's the oldest, and then the third child that they have is Michael Spinks. Okay. Remember Michael Spinks from getting murdered by Mike Tyson in 90 seconds, 91 seconds? Yeah. That's his brother. So, and then
great boxer still.
Yeah, there's just many boxers.
Second best at the time.
We are not as good as Mike Tyson. Yeah,
right.
He came in looking like, I'm going to get beat up today. It's going to happen. So he apparently, his mom is named Kay. His dad is obviously Leon. His dad leaves very early on. He's coming and going, never lives with them. And his mom, Kay, holds everything together here. She's a real religious lady and just trying to hold 7 kids together in the 50s and 60s in the projects. So it's not easy for anybody to do that. Leon, not tough at a young age and also very goofy. He's... I'm not to judge people, but he's not the brightest bulb. He's just not. I mean, even pre-brain damage, he's just not the brightest guy in the world. He started out a little dim. He started out in a bit of a divot, and he's trying to climb out. And then when you punch someone back down into that divot, it's not helping their cause at all here. So it's tough.
Oh, Leon.
He used to get mugged for his a quarter and a dime.
Oh. Fuck, man.
The local kids would rough him up. He was so easy to fuck over and screw with, they called him Mess Over for a while. That was his name.
What a fun name.
Mess Over. Hey, look, it's Mess Over. Let's take his money. That's fucked up. And later on, the older kids would call him Goofy Leon all the time. Oh, it's goofy-ass Leon. Let's mess him over. And then they'd beat the shit out of him and take his money, like all the time.
Wasn't that a song? I swear, mess over.
Mess around. We're doing the mess around. That's what I was thinking too. Immediately.
Yeah.
Mess around. We're doing the mess over. We're doing the mess over. We take his change out of his pocket now. I think that's the song. So he really just had a hard childhood when it came to that. I mean, he just got beat up. And that's part of it, too. When you're constantly on a daily basis pummeled about the head and face, I don't think that's good for your brain either.
No.
I doubt it.
Absolutely not.
That can't be good for you, I would imagine.
That'll help with poor decision-making later.
Yeah, like his mom and his brother Michael said, like, he would come home bloody, like, on a daily basis with his face all bloody and fucked up. I mean, it was constant. That's frightening,
So awful to be bullied, man. Sometimes it creates a heavyweight champion, though.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. It makes you want to fight back, and that's what he did. They started taking boxing just to learn how to not get beat up on the way home.
Just to hang on to their nickel.
They didn't want to be boxers. They were just like, fuck. I'm tired of getting the shit beaten out of me. I at least got to learn how to throw a punch and be able to defend myself a little bit. So Leon Sr. and Kay, like I said, separated early, and father in and out, and Leon's very disappointed with his father.
Yeah.
Never really likes him. Leon says this, quote, I remember I stayed with him one time, and I did something. Okay, something bad, obviously, because check this out. Quote, this is, I don't even know who thinks of this. Quote, he hung me on a nail and hit me across the face with some cord of some kind. It put a long mark on my face. He told me he was sorry, but ever since then, I didn't like him. Okay, I had done wrong, but why do you have to scar me up?
Yeah, and it's not necessarily the scar me up. Hang you on a nail, and
hang you on a
humiliation.
Nail? and then whip you with a cord. Do you know how fucking vicious it is to whip someone with a cord? That's vicious.
The emotional scars are so much worse.
You could defend your house with a cord. Like if someone broke into your house and you started swinging a cord, they'd fucking run.
That noise is insane.
Oh, shit. Jesus Christ. This is a child.
In the dark, just hearing that?
Oh, God, I'd run. I don't know how long that cord is. It could be fucking, that's the other thing. A cord could be 10 feet. Yeah. Whap. Where'd it come from? Did it come from below, from above? Shit. So, and hanging a kid by a nail and doing this, that is wild. So, the father was also in and out of trouble all the time. Legal trouble, had a lot of problems, and he said that it affected his self-esteem a lot because he was embarrassed that his dad not only was in and out all the time, but also in and out of jail all the time. So he was like, he's getting beat up all the time. He just felt like he couldn't do anything here.
Life is no fun.
At all. So they walked into the Capri Recreation Center at 19th and Cole Streets. It was near their home and right within a few blocks of their home. And they said they wanted to learn to box. And, so Michael said, quote, "Me and Leon have always been two different people. The people Leon associated with, I didn't." Leon's fucking crazy, we'll just say here. Michael says, quote, "I was a strange kid. I said things when I shouldn't have said things. I did things when I shouldn't have done things. As a kid, I did so many things to upset my mom." That's Michael. Now, Leon really didn't upset his mom at all.
No?
Leon's a good boy. And he's a nice young man, and they always say they're nice. Everybody says how nice the Spinks kids are. They're very, that's the thing about Leon, too, is he doesn't hurt others, really. It's just all about self-damage and inflicting problem on himself. He's kind of a nice guy. Yeah, he's known as a very sweet guy. So one of these kids who used to box, named Claudel Atkins, he said that the Spinks boys said he used to beat the shit out of him all the time, and that he was one of the reasons they started boxing, was this guy.
So he takes credit?
He does. Claudel says, quote, "There was a little gang of us in the Pruitt-Igoe," which is the projects they lived in, Pruitt-Igoe, "and we beat them up once. I guess things have changed now. I don't think anybody would be ready to jump on them anymore." That was later on, obviously, when they were both, champion boxers. Jim Merrill is the boxing coach at the gym in these days. Yeah. He says they were in a bad situation and a bad element. It seemed they were always being picked on by individuals in the area. So when they were about 13 and 15, they came to Capri and asked me to teach them, and I did. And, he said that they were, quote, "In his first year, Leon won the sub-novice championship for boys under 16 years old. He was 16 shortly after, but skipped the novice division, which is the normal progression, and went straight into the open division, which is the division he fights in now." That's when they're 17 years old. He's talking about that. So he went to like a summer boxing program. So
sick.
It was something, because neither of them gave a shit about school either. That's the other thing. Neither of them liked school. They both were kind of an annoyance in school because they didn't care to be there. So it was one of those things. The coach said, though, the Spinkses were really sincere about training. Mike would run downtown when he didn't even have to train to keep in shape. But they said, here we go. Leon said, "I used to come home beat up every day, and then I'd beat up my brother Michael. When Michael got tired of having his butt kicked, he learned to box too." Jesus Christ. Then he goes on to say, quote, "Everyone in our neighborhood, we stayed in the projects. If you couldn't box, you got your butt whipped."
Yeah.
Fair enough. The coach here said, though, he didn't really think that neither of them were worth a shit as boxers. They were just, nice kids. This is season 4 of The Wire is what this is, too, because this gym is in the projects. Like, it's Dennis Wise, and it's fucking, this is like Naaman and Michael came in, and one of them became heavyweight champion of the world, or both of them did. That's the equivalent of it. So he says, quote, "To tell you the truth, I thought they were two run-of-the-mill boys who were just looking for something to do. I didn't realize they were really interested in boxing. They really proved me wrong, and I'm proud they did." Which, it's a good thing they did, because school they didn't do much in.
Right. And otherwise, this magazine wouldn't be talking to me.
That's the other thing. Yeah, you wouldn't know who the hell I was at all. I'm a fucking anonymous boxing coach in the projects. Who the hell? Yeah. No one knows who Dennis Wise is unless he was on The Wire. That's how it works.
Right.
So one of his teachers, James Williams, talked about Michael as a student. He said, I taught Michael at Pruitt School. Attendance posed a bit of a problem sometimes. He really wasn't turned on by the academic endeavors. I guess not. So
That's a way of putting it.
Turned on by it. That's a very 70s way of putting it.
Yeah.
Just wasn't turned on by it, man. You know what I mean? You got to turn the kids on, which no, don't do that.
Don't do that at all.
No, not in any way. So
when they're turned on about history. I don't. Why are they?
Yeah,
why are you doing
on.
that?
How about interested? Let's go with interested.
There you go.
Let's try that one. So both of them dropped out of Vashon High School, and that's about that. The assistant principal said of Michael, quote, he was a mannerable fellow, kind of rough, tough, but a nice young man. I remember his lovely mother who believed in God and felt all would be well in just a matter of time. Yeah. That's how Kay is. Kay is just like, her life is so hard that she's just like, all I can do is pray and hope it works out. Because
take the wheel.
Yeah, because it's so hard. 7 kids and a guy in and out.
Everything I'm doing
jail.
is not helping. So if you could do it, that'd be nice.
That'd be great. If just please, it's hard enough down here. So
again, I can relate.
No shit. So they also, one thing they're known for, though, Leon and Michael, is they're both known for petty theft. They never get like arrested for it as kids, but they're known for like little things here and there, stealing from stores and stuff like that.
Yeah.
No major enterprises or anything. They're not like, boosting trucks and selling toasters off the dock or anything. But
candy bar capers.
Candy bars, steal a purse at a diner one day or some shit like that. The little kid shit, basically, whatever. So they're known as nice young men, though. One woman here who's a friend of their mom, she says she remembers watching them play and all this type of thing. This is depressing. In this article, it says she remembers watching her son and the brothers playing in the Pruitt I-Go before her son lost his life in an elevator accident in the housing project 10 years ago.
What?
It was like, holy shit, an elevator accident?
Who's lost their son? That lady did?
This lady, yeah. I guess it was a friend of the Spinks kids. They all used to play together, and then one of them died in an elevator somehow. Did it fall on him? Did it fall? What the fuck happened?
Was he inside it and it broke, or was he outside of it?
Yeah,
and it
did
broke?
he like look up the shaft and it fell and crushed him?
Oh, God.
I don't know what happened. So
that is the worst thought ever. Or was he on top of it riding it and it went all the way to the top?
Like a surfboard. I don't know what the hell happened. So this is Mrs. Jackson, though, from a couple apartments over. Yeah. She says,
sorry, Miss Jackson.
Sorry, Miss Jackson, that your son fell down an elevator shaft or whatever the fuck happened.
That's what the Outcast song was about.
It was. It was about a little boy who fell down an elevator shaft and their grief.
Did you feel that shaking your ass to that song now?
You feel that? Yeah. First verse was about him falling in a shaft, an empty one. Second verse was about him getting crushed by an elevator that fell. Third verse about him riding the top of it as it fell. So it's a variety. They don't know what happened either, but they're going to explore it.
Yeah. Enjoy your happy hour pricing.
So she says, quote, one thing that always stands out in my mind is how they always respected elderly people. I've never known them to disrespect adults. They'd get into a little trouble like every kid in Pruitt, but still managed to keep their heads above water. They were really nice boys. Mm-hmm. So that's what she get. And it's always nice. One guy, even the teacher says, as I remember them, both were nice. But Leon was a little more verbose, a little more gaudy and flamboyant. Michael was very quiet and unassuming. I remember when he came back from a boxing match in Poland and said, oh, by the way, I went to Poland, as if he'd been in East St. Louis. Like, it wasn't a big deal. Just, yeah, I went to Poland. Michael got a job as a dishwasher at the Holiday Inn.
Oh,
yeah. A fellow cook at the place said, quote, you wouldn't believe he's a boxer. He said, he doesn't act like somebody. He brought me souvenirs back from one of his trips in another country. He speaks to everybody and is just glad to help out. Just plain nice, Yeah. They just love him. His boxing coach gets a little pushback saying that they might be pushing him a little too fast, too hard. And when you hear the heights, because we'll be done with this amateur shit in about 5 minutes, and then it's just going to explode into craziness. So When you hear how fast it actually happened, it's wild. So the coach said, I think they were going pretty fast, but they were ready. Why, I remember when Leon asked me once to teach him some more about boxing, I looked at him and said I'd taught him everything. I taught him everything I knew and just to get in shape and go out and win. 3 years in a row, he won the 178-pound National American Athletic Union Championship. I only know of one other boy that ever did that. Both of those boys make me so proud. This is the first championship fight of theirs I've missed. I planned to go, but there was a death in my family. And so, there, this guy loves them. So,
what a shitty game plan, by the way.
Yeah.
Get in shape and go win. I mean,
well,
yeah,
he said I
but
taught you
what?
everything. I don't know anymore.
That's all I got.
I'm at a gym in the projects. I don't know, I'm not the best boxing coach in the world.
Go win.
Yeah, I taught you. I guess beat people up now. I mean, shit. So, okay, here we go. Now it gets crazy. From here on out, fucking buckle up. He meets a woman named Zadie Mae Calvin. Okay. Okay. Now, she grew up in the same projects here that Leon did, and was only 17 when she gives birth to their first son.
Yeah. Leon the Third.
Leon the Third, Jimmy. It's Leon the Third.
God damn it.
Leon the Third. He never marries this woman here.
Really?
No, they have 3 sons together, but they never get married, and that's the way it works.
Wouldn't it be cool if he named him Threon?
Threon. That'd be amazing. Neon Threon he could have been. It would have been much better. I like Neon Threon.
I want a kid named Threon now.
So, well, stay tuned, Jimmy. We'll talk about it a lot more.
All right.
So Leon the Third is his name when he boxes, because he's going to be a boxer later, his name is Leon Calvin. He goes by. He takes his mother's maiden name, but officially he is Leon Spinks the Third.
He is Threon.
There he is, Threon. So they never get married. They have 3 sons. Another one is Corey Spinks. You ever heard of him? He was a multiple-time champion. Yeah, you've seen him on HBO. He boxed on HBO for years and years and years.
Really?
In the 90s and 2000s. Really fucking excellent fighter. We'll talk all about it. So there's a woman here who he meets who he'll have many, 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 many encounters with, because he'll be with her for years. They'll get married, and crazy shit's going to happen from that. Okay.
Okay.
This is fucking, dude. I can't even believe I'm going to read this, because it's just fucking hilarious. Should I read? Okay. It's very sexually explicit and hilarious.
Boy.
This woman wrote a book and describes their first sexual encounter together. What? So this isn't coming from his point of view. This is coming from her point of view here. So, okay, let's just get right to it. Okay, here we go. First encounter with his future wife. Quote.
One time. Yeah.
Quote. Leon pulled himself up on his knees, leaned over, and held me for the first time. I hugged him back, and it felt strong, warm, and right. Leon's breathing was heavier now, warm on my neck and shoulders. You hot yet, Jimmy? You into this?
Yeah.
He stood up, held out his arms, and we walked back to my bedroom together, taking our glasses with us.
Oh, we got a drink.
Yeah, of course you got to have a drink with this all scene. There's animal skin rugs on the ground, Jimmy. I fucking sense it. I can see it. It's the 70s. Everybody,
his arm's limp. He's holding the top of the glass.
The pew bushes here are fucking outstanding. Okay, here we go. He's glasses. Leon had started coming out of his clothes as I went into my closet in the dark and took my clothes off. Leon asked me what I was doing, and I replied by coming out of the closet in my robe. Ooh. He reached and grabbed me and said, quote, "Woman." He started out saying, "Woman" is his first fucking word. This is the best 70s shit I've ever heard. Woman.
He said, "Woman."
It gets better. Woman, you are the sweetest, warmest, softest thing I have ever run across, and you're cute too.
Thank God. Then
he says, and this is like a quadruple entendre here. I know this is going to be deep. It's a lot going on there. I'm going to make you a 13 on.
He said all of this.
He said that's the quote that she wrote in a book about it. Woman, You are the sweetest, warmest, softest thing I've ever run across, and you're cute, too. I know this is going to be deep. Okay.
All right. That's a hell of a quote.
It is. I looked at Leon because the last remark made me nervous. Oh, boy.
How deep we talking, fella?
Well, wait till you hear this. I pulled away and walked across the room to sit on my bed. I felt like I was in the principal's office waiting for my turn. I lifted my glass and began to sip from it. I watched Leon walk across the floor by the window through the moonlight, which caught him just right. I could not believe what I had seen. Next sentence. Leon had the biggest penis that I had ever seen, and that's still true.
It stands.
Quote, long, thick, and massive. Which is absolutely the name of this episode. I'm writing it down right now, and massive. There's
long, thick, and massive.
There's no other. How the fuck is that not the title of the episode? It's done.
He had a two-fister, huh? Like the two hands on top. Like,
oh yeah,
you could play. You could play that old game
with the bat. Yeah, you could. She could have invited a friend over, from what I understand. It's not two-fister. This is like a four-fister.
See who plays outfield.
Yeah, he named it 3-on because you need 3 people to be able to control it. So long, thick, and massive. Quote, I choked on the wine, and Leon, she went, she like gasped, like, oh my, that's,
oh dear.
He has a startling penis. That's like, if a penis can startle you into choking on your drink, that's a huge cock. Like, what cock could surprise you to that point where you'd go, gee, what? I'm sorry, is that a cock, or are you fucking swinging a Louisville in here?
I've seen porno where I had to change to a different one because it was like that. I was like, I can't possibly.
No. But you didn't do a spit take.
Any noise she makes, I'm never going to hear that noise for the rest of my life.
But you didn't do a spit take. Then again, you weren't.
No, I just went,
knowing,
come on.
You weren't knowing that it was meant for you soon. That's the other thing. You weren't in the same room with it, with the moonlight shining ever so softly on it, with him calling you woman, with that thing swinging between his legs. Woman?
I was not trying to game plan accommodation of it, but I certainly was appalled.
It's so big.
I think it was more, yeah.
It's so big, perpetual motion applies to it. If you start it swinging, unless you stop it, it'll never stop. It just keeps going forever. You can fucking.
And when it hits other things, it transfers the energy to it, and that's why things move.
That's right. So I choked on the wine, and Leon was now on the bed patting my back. When I stopped choking, he began kissing me. That's nice. He waited till she was done choking.
Thank God, yeah.
He began kissing me, running his tongue over my neck and shoulders and down to my breasts, pressing himself against me. Here we go.
Oh, he's a very thoughtful lover.
He's a gentle lover. But he has to be, otherwise.
I can for yeah.
If he didn't get you so fucking ready, there would be pieces of you on the walls when he was done with it. Apparently, so that's why he's got to really prime you.
Yeah, this is some things that feel nice because something else is gonna be tough for you, and I already know it, and I apologize.
You're gonna have to want it so bad that you'll go, I'll give it a shot. Why not? Otherwise, I'm fucked, man.
Yeah.
So he's on the bed patting my back. When I stopped running, down to my breast, pressing himself against me, I could feel his penis was firm and throbbing.
Jesus. She could feel the throb?
That's how, Jimmie, listen to this. I pulled back and saw it was too heavy to stand erect.
What?
Hard and dangling because it's that heavy. It's just the weight of it. It's too much.
Heavy.
Heavy.
Too heavy.
So if you have this dick, you don't even need a cord to defend your house. You take that thing out, I'm running. Because if we get to combat and you win, I could be in deep shit here. So I'm going to get out of your house.
Or he will be.
Yeah, just
that will be in deep shit. He will be deep in shit.
Deep in shit. That would be my defense, though. I just run out of my fucking bedroom stark naked with my cock in my hand, waving it back and forth. You'd be like, oh my God, what the fuck? It's startling, and you'd run away. So,
that's awesome. Good for him.
Good for him. Good for you, Leon. Leon pulled the curtain back so the moonlight would shine in my face. what the fuck is this? What is he doing?
Blinding her?
Choreographing this? Hold on, baby. I want to see the moonlight on your face. Who the fuck does that? When your dick is throbbing that hard, are you thinking about where the moonlight's shining, or are you? No.
I'm telling you, it's to try to set the mood, to try to make it easier for her.
It's gotta be. It has to be. He must have seen that look before. Yeah. Holy shit. He said,
"This is more for you than me."
This is wow. Then he says, here's a quote from Leon again in the midst of the action. Quote, "Oh, baby. Oh, baby. I know what the deal is now. Don't worry. I'm not going to hurt you. I know what I got, and I know what I'm doing, and this ain't your first time. You're experienced. It will be okay." Listen, I know how to swing this dick, and you know how to take it, so let's not fucking kid each other. That's what he just said.
Let's not fucking kid each other.
Let's not fucking kid each other here.
Just because it's bigger than everybody else doesn't mean you can't handle it. Don't worry.
This ain't your first rodeo. It just happens to be the biggest bull you've seen. It's fine. You know what I mean? That's all there is to it.
It's just the best Brahma you'll ever ride.
You'll ever fucking ride. This is amazing. I watched Leon take my pillows and position them between us. After a few painful, awkward moments, it was happening.
He could get it between pillows?
I don't know if he was like between us. I don't know if he was like propping her up to get the right angle. I don't know what the fuck he was. Why would there be pillows between you? That's a weird thing. I don't know. Is he showing off?
Because it's so long, he's got to make it comfortable for her. Don't worry, I can get you from over here.
Oh, it's like a stand, you mean? It's like a little stand that he keeps? So it doesn't like bow in the middle? It's that long. It might bow in the middle if he's...
It's like scaffolding.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You need supports. He needs support beams. That's what it is. He should carry around little fucking like, like dowels.
A monster.
So yeah, we were making love, passionate love.
Yeah.
Leon had started whispering something again and again. I strained to hear what he was saying. He was saying, quote, "She can cook too." I gotta give that a standing on. That was the greatest sexual description I've ever heard in my life. That was fucking amazing. That was amazing.
Was he talking about her or his penis?
She's making his penis cook? I don't know what it is. Then I looked down and...
His penis can cook too? He calls her she?
I've never cooked a thing in my life. I didn't know what he was talking about. Then I looked down and saw smoke coming from my vagina and said, whoa, slow down, big guy.
Wow.
That's a wild fucking tale right there.
Anybody would say that nice thing about me. That's so kind.
Wait till you hear. This is a woman that hates him later, too.
Yeah.
And she still wrote that. His cock is so big, it's undeniable. You can't even fucking, even if you hate him, you got to go, but his cock, it's amazing. So 1973, he joins the Marines.
Is that right?
Have we had that yet in a boxer? Like, I don't know. Riddick Bowe did it after he was champion when he lost his mind, but not like as a start. So,
and when he joined, they didn't even take him, right?
No, they took him. He's in.
They took him?
No, he goes to the Marines, and he is, this is 73. I mean, they didn't know how long Vietnam was going.
Riddick Bowe, they didn't take him.
He got kicked out very quickly.
Yeah.
He was in there like a month, and they were like, you're too rich for this. You can't hack it here.
Do this?
No.
Yeah.
He had like $200 million, and he's like, I'm going to sleep in a barrack on top of another guy. No.
They're like, no, that's for people that don't have this.
It's like this is like this isn't a summer camp for you. Like, these are people who actually are like, they're either trying to make a career, or they're just trying to get money for college, or they're, I don't know, defending their country. Whatever the fuck their fucking, whatever their motivation is, it's not yours. So...
I don't think there's many of them that have a couple $100 million.
No, and they're like, you know what? I think it'd be fun to join the Marines for a while, just because I'm tired of doing interviews on TV. It's really getting a lot.
Trying to do things when I want to do it.
Barbara Walters is really hounding me, and I don't want to do it, so I'm going to the Marines.
You can find me at Camp Pendleton.
Wayfair's President's Day clearance is on. Right now through February 18th, get Wayfair's best deal since Black Friday with fast and easy shipping straight to your door. Save up to 70% off now at wayfair.com.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
He was hip-hop's biggest mogul, the man who redefined fame, fortune, and the music industry.
The first male rapper to be honored on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Sean Diddy Combs.
Diddy built an empire and lived a life most people only dream about.
Everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up.
But just as quickly as his empire rose, it came crashing down.
Today I'm announcing the unsealing of a 3-count indictment, charging Sean Combs with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, interstate transportation for prostitution.
I was up. I hit rock bottom, but I make no excuses. I'm disgusted. I'm so sorry.
Until you're wearing an orange jumpsuit, it's not real. Now it's real.
From his meteoric rise to his shocking fall from grace, from law and crime, this is the rise and fall of Diddy. Listen to the rise and fall of Diddy exclusively with Wondery Plus.
So while he's in the Marines, one of his first fights, a guy headbutts him and knocks his front 4 teeth out.
That's a hell of a headbutt.
Oh, yeah. This is now Leon's signature. He's got no teeth always forever. He keeps, and he smiles with big no teeth, and that's his whole thing. So the fact that he doesn't speak well to begin with, from the brain damage, add no teeth to that, and you really got something. So he'll get he'll get multiple sets of whatever, like a denture plate, and we wait to hear what happens to those. So he says about this, quote, "No, I ain't no vampire." Okay, he said. All right, talking about his teeth, and he says, "Sometimes I leave my teeth in the hotel. One time they were stolen by a maid or somebody who got a key to my room, and they got my teeth. They were in a plastic container." So that's the first time someone steals his teeth.
In a hotel.
That's number one, okay? There's more. So keep a tally of how many times people steal his teeth, and then keep a tally of how many times in your entire life you've ever heard of someone stealing another person's teeth. Put those two together. If you
don't have your own teeth, you should never be more than, 10 or 20 feet away from wherever you keep the replacement teeth.
I would always have like a dedicated teeth pocket where I'd it'd be big enough for the tooth cup, and I'd put it in there and keep it. Like, they'd be on me at all times.
My replacement teeth would be very close.
Very close. So, that's what he says. Now, in the amateurs, he won 3 consecutive national AAU light heavyweight championships, 1974, 75, 76, which is amazing. The first of which came against Michael Dokes, who's one of our guys here. So we've talked about him. This is when he was still in the Marine Corps. As an amateur, too, he wins all sorts of shit here. The 1974 World Championships, he wins a bronze medal. He wins a silver at the 1975 Pan American Games as well. Wow. And then in 1976, 1976, he wins the Camp Lejeune. I don't know what the fuck. It's a Marine fucking thing. Yeah. He's a Lance Corporal at this point, and he wins the Open Championships at 147 pounds earlier. So he and his brother make the 1976 Olympic team.
That is awesome.
Him and Michael. Yeah, they've never been brothers. There's never been a pair of brothers to win medals in the same year Olympics before in boxing. Wow. So they're trying to make history here. Their mom gets to go, which is pretty fucking cool. She couldn't afford to go. She said that normally she watches their fights, quote, in front of a borrowed television set in her small apartment in the Darst Webb housing complex.
What?
Which sounds sad. But apparently the St. Louis Post-Dispatch did an article about the Spinkses, and they're tough. Yeah. They're tough upbringing, and now the fact that they made the Olympic team together, and they're nice kids and all this. And so somebody called the paper and said, "I want to send the mother to the games. I want to sponsor her
nice.
and let her go." So he asked to remain anonymous, so we don't know who the hell he was. But
that's awesome, though.
He said, quote, "Whatever the cost is, I want to do it. I've played sports all my life, and so have my kids. I can't think of anything better than going to see my kid win a gold medal in the Olympics. The height of everything must be standing up there on the platform and getting a gold medal and hearing the national anthem." Yeah. So,
and everybody else has got one chance. She's got 2.
She's got 2. Yeah, one could fuck up, and she's like, all right, fuck him. Yeah. Clear him out.
The one I was rooting for anyway.
Mrs. Spinks said, quote, "God bless him, God bless him, God bless him." She said, "This is just like getting a diamond ring for me. That's the only way I can explain it. I'm just so happy. I can't believe it. I've never had a trip like this. This is just so nice." She never been on a plane before, she said too. So this is first time on a plane. The way that goes here, Spinks. Let's do Michael first here, I guess. All right, fuck it. Leon, he beats Abdel Latif Fatihi. He beats Anatoly Klimanov, Adamar Saches, Ganuz Gortat. That's my favorite. He sounds like an NBA center. Ganuz Gortat. And then he beats, I think it's Cuba's Sixto Soria to win the gold medal in the light heavyweight division. Michael does. Leon does. I'm sorry. Michael wins gold in the middleweight division. They're the first pair of brothers to ever medal in boxing in the same Olympics together, and they win golds, that
is awesome.
Yeah, which is fucking impressive, and Mom gets to see it. So this is pretty goddamn cool. Yeah.
Did they also give her vagina an honorary gold medal?
Well, we don't know what his father's packing. Maybe it's from her side.
No, that's a good point. But she birthed the two.
She birthed them. Oh, okay. I was like, Jesus, I don't think they're fucking their moms. I don't know why I thought. I'm still worried about the last woman's vagina. That's the problem. I'm worried about if she had ever recovered.
Mom should have gotten something. At least a gold coin. I don't know.
Stay tuned, Jimmy. Stay tuned. Remember what she said? This is like getting a diamond ring. Just keep that in mind. So Leon Spinks says, "Oh, the gold, man. It was great. I fought for my country. I represented the United States. They can take away any title, but nobody can take the gold from me." So that's it. He's a gold medalist forever. His amateur career. First of all, he has 185 amateur fights, Leon does.
Holy shit.
So when you talk about brain damage, 185 amateur fights. And his style is not defensive. Remember when that guy said, "I taught you all I know"? Right. Apparently defense wasn't part of it because
I think I didn't know that.
He's not a good defensive fighter. He's not a polished boxer by any stretch of the imagination. He's got an amazing stamina. He's got a good chin, and he hits like a fucking, hits like a monster. That's it. That's what he's got.
He fights like the bully or the bullied fighting back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's like a guy you wouldn't want to fight. But he finishes his amateur career 178-7.
Wow.
With 133 knockouts, by the way. That's a lot. So
my God, he's dangerous.
He's very dangerous here. August 5th, 1976, in St. Louis is Michael and Leon Spinks Day.
Okay.
They have a fucking parade, Jimmy.
Wow, that's awesome.
There's a goddamn parade. I mean, this is like a month after the bicentennial. They had that, and then they had the Spinks Day. It was the City Fathers to honor the two young men who became the first brother combination in Olympic history to win boxing gold medals. Then they're saying how Leon's a Lance Corporal in the Marines, and they he's granted leave to attend his day. 2,000 people came out for the celebration and lined the curb of Keener Plaza at 6th and Market Streets and all this type of shit here. So there was a big deal. They had local drum corps was there. They paraded them by. Their mother was there waving to people, and people are fucking cheering. It's pretty nice. So then the Mrs. Georgia Buckowitz, who's the director of the city's Parks and Recreation and Forestry Service, she said that Mrs. Spinks deserves a token and gave her a key to the city to match their sons, because they gave the sons a key to the city. Yeah. Gave her one, too. She said, quote, "She deserves a medal, too. Mothers are very influential in the way their children are brought up, especially if they're the only parent there. They're the whole influence at that point." And
fucking key to the city. Just give me a key to my own fucking house.
Better house. And then Hamilton Jewelers Incorporated presents Mrs. Spinks with a diamond ring.
Wow.
They gave her one. And the brothers, their first grade teacher, gave Mrs. Spinks old photographs of their sons at school that she had from before. So a diamond ring. Could you be more proud as a mother? Your sons have gold medals. They're rolling down the main street in your city while people cheer with medals and keys to the city, and they give you a diamond ring. Like, how proud can you be?
Yeah.
Not even Grace yet.
No.
You expected grace, didn't you? Didn't you expect grace right there?
This city didn't give a fuck about us 15 years ago. Today they're giving us a parade. That's grace, right?
No, it's not.
Not yet.
No, you would in any other story, that's grace. In any other story. But It's not grace because what happens to him is the craziest thing almost in the history of sports. It really is one of the biggest crazy things. So it makes Buster Douglas look like nothing. Like that's how crazy of an upset. So 1977, January 15th at the Aladdin in Las Vegas is his first professional fight.
Wow.
He fights Bob Smith.
That is your first professional fight?
That's a guy who needs a nickname, and luckily he has one. It's Natchez Lightning.
What?
Your name is Bob Smith. Just stop it and give up.
That sounds like a microbrew.
Yeah, Natchez with a Z. Natchez Lightning. It does sound like like an IPA.
Yeah.
Sounds like an IPA.
Like flowery as fuck.
Man, that shit stinks. Smells like somebody's armpit. Yeah, it's a good IPA. That's what that is.
That's Natchez.
This guy's 8-7-1 here, and Leon TKOs him in the 5th round. So 1-0 as a pro here.
So much for Lightning.
Yeah. Next up, he's in Liverpool. Goes over the pond there in March of 77, March 5th. He fights Peter Freeman, who's 13-8.
Okay.
So gets this guy KO in the 1st round for Leon.
Mm-hmm.
So it comes out more confident. Also, that Freeman was a late replacement for somebody else. So this guy had like a week to train. This happens a couple times with Leon. Really? He gets lucky like that. March 20th, 77. So 15 days later, it was only a 1-round fight. This is in Louisville at the Exposition Center. He fights Jerry McIntyre, who's 1-2. And this is a 1st-round knockout for Leon, bringing him to 3-0. This is really the golden age of his time here because it gets ugly after a while. Next up in May 7th, 77, he's at the Kiel Auditorium, which was a big old wrestling place. That was the Kiel was the hot shit.
Where at?
In St. Louis.
Okay.
The Kiel in St. Louis. There he fights Pedro Schoolboy Augusto Ortiz. That's his name. Schoolboy is his nickname. He's 28-8-1. So
good fighter.
Solid fighter. Leon knocks him out in the 1st round.
How about that?
Looking pretty good. Yeah, he's looking good. He's 4-0.
Uh-huh.
I mean, that's not bad, man. You're looking 4-0 is pretty fucking decent. June 1st, 1977, at the Forum in Montreal, he fights Bruce Scott, who is 10-37-1.
Yikes.
Wow.
Sir.
How much brain damage do you have, sir?
Why put yourself through that?
Why would you do that? There should be a rule that if you have like more than 10, more than a certain amount of fights, you can't have like, if you have 10 wins, you can't have like 30 losses and still fight. No. Once you get like 3 times as many losses as wins, you have to stop because.
If you got 30 losses and your wins are still single digits, hang it the fuck up, man. This isn't for you.
Well, Scott goes down twice in the 2nd and once in the 3rd, and he ends up winning. Leon does with a KO in the 3rd. Part of the reason is that Scott looks so bad here is because number one, he has 37 losses, right. And I feel like the reason why he might have so many losses is because he does dumb shit like this. This guy was literally a last-minute replacement. The guy who's supposed to fight Leon, Greg Jerome, didn't show up for the fight.
Was he afraid, do you think?
They were waiting for him. He didn't show, so they were like, are there any other boxers here?
Yeah.
You, put your fucking gloves on. Let's go. So he wasn't training for this fight. He didn't, it's obviously not going to go well for him.
The doorman just agreed to help?
He's like, I boxed a couple of times.
I've been around.
48 to be exact. Not so good, but I could do it. So 5-0. For Leon. He just goes to all the places hoping he's got his bag with him, hoping someone doesn't show up and he can make a couple $100. That's what it seems like, that Bruce Scott guy. This is October 22nd, 77, Aladdin Theater in Las Vegas. He fights Scott Ledoux. Really? Remember, we've talked about Scott Ledoux before. Scott Ledoux ended up working for Vern Gagne in the AWA as a referee, and he was the guy. He's in the Wrestle Rock Rumble, actually. Okay, he has a verse where he talks about Larry Zbyszko. Yeah.
Right. So I wondered if he was related to the country singer Chris Ledoux.
That's the one. So he's 21-6-1. Scott Ledoux, if you've ever seen his head, it looks like
It's a lot of head.
It looks like it's made of like stone, and then somebody just mushed some clay around it. That's his head. Not particularly shaped. They just were like, that's face. There you go.
That's a man face. Just done.
Squished it on his head. That's what he looks like. So he looks like he could take a punch. And this one goes all 10 rounds. And it's split decision draw. It's a draw.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he's just a tough, journeyman fighter who knows how to hang in there. And Leon doesn't have enough skills to break through that sort of thing. So that's what happens. And this guy just stays alive because he's nowhere near as good a fighter as Leon. He just knows how to, hang in there. So Leon's 5-0-1 at this point. November 18th, 1977, at the Hilton in Las Vegas, he fights Alfio Righetti. I see, it's Alfio Righetti. Hey. I'm sorry. I gotta even make fun of that.
It's too much.
It's too much. Go by Al. Al Righetti's fine. That's a guinea enough.
Sounds like a name of one of the Inglorious Bastards picked to blend in and say they were Italian.
That's what I'm saying. Al Righetti sounds like you own a chain of pizza places in Queens. That's fine. Alfio
on Tuesday,
Righetti.
We got spaghetti and meatballs.
Yeah. Alfio Righetti. Now you got an organ grinder and a monkey. Now you know what I mean? Now you've turned into a fool now. Alfio, though, not a guy to fuck with. 27-0 coming into this fight.
Wow.
This is no joke, man. Alfio, I don't know who he's beating up over there, but he's beating somebody up. So this goes all 10 rounds again. This time Leon wins a unanimous decision. He's 6-0-1. So he's 6-0-1. And you can tell like he doesn't have a lot of experience. He's not a guy. He needs more seasoning, is what you're talking about. So the next thing that happens is the most ridiculous and crazy thing in the world. You'd think you're going to, line up a couple more kind of journeyman guys so he can kind of get used to that, being able to pound out a win. Instead, on February 15th, 1978, he fights fucking Muhammad Ali.
What?
Who is the world heavyweight champion.
At the time.
He is the world heavyweight champion. Because he's a gold medalist, he's got back then, if you were a gold medalist, you came out of the chute
clout.
Hot. It's not like now where no one gives a fuck what you do in the Olympics. Back then, there was 3 channels. People watched the goddamn Olympics, and if an American won the gold medal, they were a hero here. So
we'll use him somewhere.
Sugar Ray Leonard was the same thing. He came out. He was a star before he ever had a fight. So same deal. So Ali, he gets a shot at the world heavyweight title, which he's clearly not ready for, obviously. No. Scott Ledoux he couldn't fucking beat. He couldn't beat an AWA referee who moonlighted as a bartender like 8 years after this. You know what I mean? So it's a mess why you would do this. And Ali is thinking it's just an easy payday. This is a tune-up fight here.
Right.
That's all it is. That's it. He's... The way he put it, Ali later on, he was undertrained and overconfident is what it was. That's what Leon was. Gets in there. He's an 8-1 underdog, Leon. And he's only 8-1 because he won the gold medal. So other than that, he wouldn't even be, it would be 30-1.
$100 on that, right?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Who cares? Yeah. This is something you throw a shot on here because Leon's a big puncher, so you never know. He could come up lucky. Could be like a Hassan Rahman situation where he gets a lucky shot and then drops him.
And all of a sudden you get $800. Done.
This is also a 15-round fight, which he's never done before, Leon.
Oh, my God.
So they're very worried that he's going to be able to go 15 because Ali knows how to hang in there if he wants to. Is the other
15
thing.
3 minutes or 15 5s?
3-minute rounds.
3, right?
Yeah. 3 minute. Yeah. Just
that is
UFC.
45 minutes.
Yeah, it's a fucking long time to fight some.
That's so long.
Not even with somebody else. Get up and box like a boxer, like on the balls of your feet, and throw punches for 3 minutes. 3.
Right.
Because I've done it. Do it for 3 fucking minutes. You will have to sit down for an hour if you do that. Do that 15 times while somebody other that knows what they're doing is punching you in the face and stomach, and see if you can fucking do that. Be like, I can't stand anymore.
Shit.
Pop, pop, pop. Oh, Jesus.
And you have to do that 15 times.
Against, one of the top fighters that's ever lived. in Muhammad Ali, who's the champ at this point. So
fighting literally Muhammad Ali at his best.
And it was his idol too. Muhammad Ali's his idol, he said.
Of course.
Since he was a little kid, he's loved Muhammad Ali. So this is like, it's crazy. His mother sat in the crowd with the Bible in her lap. She just held the Bible close.
Just praying for 45 minutes.
She said, it worked in the Olympics and I'm going to try it. So she was
What's
just
harder
praying.
to do? Fight Muhammad Ali for 45 minutes or pray for 45 minutes?
Or watch your kid fight Muhammad Ali for 45 minutes? That's got to be difficult. Well, shit, people pray for hours every week, and they seem to... they're playing with snakes and shit sometimes. Like, if you get into it enough, you can do it. But this is a different story. Pray hard, though. Please don't let Ali beat my son up that bad. Spinks Leon says about it, quote, "When I fought Ali, I was scared until the bell went ding." So he was leading up to it. Then I did my job. He talked a lot. He was the mouth from the South. He hanged clothes on his mouth. Hanged clothes on his mouth? I don't know what the fuck that means. So as they're fighting, Leon goes on to say, he said I was crazy. I talked trash to him. I came from that type of neighborhood. He was talking trash to me. He said, you're going to tire out. I said, come on, old man, get in the fight. So he was not doing it. So thing is, Leon never gets tired.
Really?
Ali does the old rope-a-dope on him,
right,
and it doesn't work because he just doesn't get fucking tired. It only works if you get tired. George Foreman was out of gas in that fight that he beat him in, and you could see it. He's barely standing before Ali's hitting him.
Yeah.
Leon's just like, I'll hit you for fucking 3 weeks. I don't care. I'll keep pounding. Have you seen I'll hit you with my cock if my arms get tired. I don't care.
I'm from the projects, man.
I need this.
Got a lot of fight in me.
Yeah, I need this. You're Muhammad fucking Ali. I need this shit. So he says that quote, my trainer said, hit his arms. I said, fuck it. If he's covering up, fucking wail on his arms. You won't be able to lift him. That's Ali wants you to do that because he figures you'll tire out hitting him before his arms will get tired from being hit. But that depends on the guy getting tired who's punching you. Sure. He said then later on, Ali couldn't use them when he wanted. I was putting too much pressure on him. I knew he'd try to win in the 13th, 14th, 15th. That's the way he beat George Foreman. He got humbled. I had more win than George Foreman. I knew Ali because I'd been watching how to stay on him and when to lay off him and save my strength. I didn't follow him around. I cut off space. That's the big deal with Ali is you got to do that. He wasn't in great condition. Ali ran out of gas and I could have gone 20 rounds. I just know one thing. I went in with one thing my mother taught me. When a man hits you, hit him back.
There you go.
So he said, I grew up watching him fight. I listened to the Sonny Liston fight on the radio. Wow. So after the 14th round, Ali fucking wobbles to his corner at the end of the round, not looking good. Spinks was working his body like a motherfucker. And if you're tired anyway and then someone's beating your body up, that's rough. The final round was, look it up, round 15 of Spinks Ali 1. Just look it up. It's fucking amazing. It's two guys just saying, well, this is the last round, leaving it all out here. It's fucking, it's nobody thinks like, I got this, I'll lay back. There's none of that shit. It's
nobody's playing it for the scorecard.
No, it's almost like this is sudden death here. This is it. Whoever wins it, that they're both looking like whoever wins this round's got the fight. So They absolutely fucking go at each other. But Ali looked old and tired, and Spinks still had a lot of pop in him, and he was quicker and never got tired. In the end, it goes the distance, all 15. One judge awards it 10-5 for Leon Spinks. One judge scores it, Art Laurie, scores it 8-7 for Ali. Wow. And then the third judge has it 8-6 for Leon Spinks, with one round being even, giving Leon Spinks the fucking split decision win. And he's the heavyweight champion of the world now.
Beating Muhammad Ali.
Muhammad Ali was 55-2 coming in, by the way.
Fuck.
He was 6-0-1, and he's now the guy who just beat Muhammad Ali. Do you understand the catapult?
And began the crumbling back to what Muhammad Ali finished at.
Absolutely, yeah. Ali doesn't really fight much after this. We'll talk about it. He comes back and they fight again, and then he kind of takes some time off, and then he looks terrible against Burbick and Holmes later on, when he does that. But it's wild. I mean, you can't imagine the level of explosion that the crowd went fucking insane too. They said this.
Did Leon Spinks give Muhammad Ali Parkinson's?
He didn't help, but I think it was the later fights that really that settled it, because Holmes and fucking Berbick wailed on him and he just couldn't defend himself. He couldn't defend himself. I think it was started well before that.
Yeah,
Ali
probably, yeah.
let George Foreman punch him for 14 rounds, so that's never going to be
That's
good.
a good point. Perhaps we just blame it on George.
Yeah, he took a lot of left hooks from Joe Frazier. I mean, he's been in a lot of wars, man.
Well, cinder block hands Foreman, though. Jesus Christ, man. Can you imagine getting punched by that guy? There's so much weight.
Repeatedly as your strategy. So George Benton, who is Leon Spinks' trainer, said when they announced the first judge had voted for Ali, I thought, oh my God, they're going to give it to him and there's going to be a riot. How the hell am I going to get out of here? Because the crowd went nuts. That first judge gave it to Ali and everybody booed. Because Ali had won a lot of fights that people thought the other guy won. He got the decision because that was the way it was. And so people were like, oh, bullshit, it's happening again.
They're going to do it again.
The next two judges went for Spinks. They went crazy. Bob Arum, who's the promoter, and usually nominated for Silver-Haired Middle-Aged White Man of the Year. Usually, I think he's won a Scummy, actually. I think he won
historically not a great guy.
No, definitely not. He said if Norton had fought Ali the way this kid did, he would have won. He said this kid isn't sophisticated enough to think he was ahead on points. That's what I mean. He didn't back off. He said he just kept fighting, and that's why he's the champion.
Wow.
15 rounds straight. This is heavyweight champion of the world, Rocky level upset. This is Rocky Apollo Creed level. February 19th, 4 days later, he is on the cover of Sports Illustrated with his big toothless fucking grin and the World Heavyweight Championship over his shoulder. Grace. That's grace.
There you go.
That is fucking grace as shit right there, man.
Can you imagine?
That is crazy. Like, if there was a picture of a mountain, but it doesn't have like a place you can stand on. It's got a pointy peak like you drew one with a pencil. He's standing on top of that point right now. Like
1 foot on one side of it, 1 foot on the other.
No, both feet on the point. He's that high up on like somehow he's balancing it. I don't know how the fuck he's doing it. This is as high as you can go right here. It's amazing. So post-fight, afterwards, Ali was leaving and somebody said, good luck, champ, as he was leaving. Ali said, don't call me champ. I ain't the champ now. You don't have to call me champ to be my friend.
Oh.
That's fucking sad.
That's the saddest thing Muhammad Ali ever said.
It is. It's so sad. He's like, that's the saddest thing you'll ever hear, and I'm going to be fucked up real soon. So even this is sadder. This is sadder than Parkinson's. So this article goes on, by the way, to say, quote, he probably will never be champ again. He's talking of how he will be the first man to win the world heavyweight title for a third time in a rematch with Leon Spinks, perhaps in September in Iran. In Iran? In the late 70s? Are you serious? Because he will not give away the early rounds as he did Wednesday night. I'll dance, he predicted. I'll dance through 15 rounds. But he's 36 years old. He can't dance for 15 rounds anymore, and he can't con the judges into thinking he's winning a fight when he really isn't. So they've counted Ali out. Spinks is the new guy. Fuck it.
He's the future of boxing.
Now the problems start. Okay.
Oh,
this is very segmented. This is unbelievable success.
Yeah.
Amazing problems.
Yeah.
Insane deterioration. It's in 3 parts. This is a 3-act fucking. This is like a tragic, like Shakespearean 3-act. This is like fucking Hamlet.
Intermission.
This
Charge
is
your phone. Grab some popcorn.
The Hamletness of fucking. That's how dramatic it is. It's
the
so much
thick,
of Leon
hairy,
Spinks.
What was it?
It's long, thick, and massive.
There it is.
The Hamletness of Neon Leon Spinks. That's the
Unbelievable.
fucking. Or the theatricalness. Something. The problems begin here now. First of all, he has problems with his manager, and his legal problems are going to get huge, but quickly he's got manager issues. Mitt Barnes here is a Teamsters official in the St. Louis area, and he's also Leon Spinks' manager.
Really?
So he's got a Teamster from St. Louis as his manager, which...
Wow.
That's what you do when you're fighting club fights to make sure they pay you the $100 at the end of the night. You got to have a guy that go, you better fucking pay that money or I'll crack your fucking skull open when he's got a cigar in his mouth. Well, once you're the heavyweight champ of the world, you don't have a Teamster from St. Louis manage you. It's a little more sophisticated than that. But Mitt Barnes said he's the manager of the heavyweight champ, but I get the feeling from everybody is the manager but me. They won't let Leon talk to me. They're trying to steal him from me. Yeah. He said, I'm not mad at Leon. It's Bob Arum I'm mad at from Top Rank. He says that's the new promoter there. And he says Butch Lewis, who's Arum's partner there, he says he's been heard to describe Leon Spinks as my boy. So, he said in order for Spinks to defend the title, Mitt Barnes, because he's the contractual manager, has to approve the opponent and sign the contract as part of it. But now he said he doesn't know if he's going to agree to anything because Bob Arum's involved. He doesn't want to deal with him, and he's considering litigation against Bob Arum and Leon Spinks. He doesn't know what to do here. Yeah. He says, I don't want a settlement. I want to manage Leon, which I'm not doing now. Fair enough. This started back in like the early 70s, this relationship of when he was an amateur. I mean, it was not even it was nothing here. Mitt said, quote, I have no quarrel with Sam, who is one of Leon's trainers. He said, he's a great guy, but now in the papers I read that I don't have right of approval for Leon's opponents anymore. That's wrong. At the January meeting, we got that straight. They had some meeting. Barnes goes on to say he only had 7 fights, and if he lost, we didn't know what was going to happen to him. He had no protection, talking about going into Ali fight. He said, so he got Leon a contract which guaranteed him 8 fights over 2 years with a minimum of $50,000 for each fight, and we also got all his $300,000 for the Ali fight. Arum wanted to give him $200,000 and put $100,000 in escrow. Okay. He said before that, his first 7 fights, he earned a total of $105,000 in the first. So that was like a year. So that's not bad. In the 70s, make $100,000. But in your training costs, you're dishing out at least half of that. Yeah. You have to pay all these people and gym time and everything. This guy said, that Mitt Barnes, he said, I've been paid all my money, although there was $2,000 from the Rigetti fight that I didn't get until the January meeting. But the money I'm worried about is Leon's money. I was putting $400 a week into the bank for him in St. Louis, but then he and his wife had the account transferred to a Philadelphia bank. He's got nobody to protect his money now. Handling all that money is going to be hard for him. It came so fast. Yeah.
Yeah, but
true.
I think I'm baffled mostly by how that structure works in that sport. That why do they require somebody to? I mean, I realize that the boxer shouldn't have to negotiate what he's going to get paid for fights, but shouldn't he know what his fight is worth? Shouldn't he know?
That's and when you have boxers who are very business, Muhammad Ali knew he controlled who he fought, when he fought, how much money he made, on what channel. He was smart. He knew how to do all that shit. But they depend on these guys being young and stupid and uneducated and had been hitting the head a shitload since they're 11. Yeah. So like, don't worry. You just worry about throwing those punches, kiddo. I got you covered. I'll take care of all that shit. That's what they all do. And this is silver as fuck.
Why is the guy that gets that for him or takes care of that for him worth so much fucking money? Because that doesn't make any sense. He didn't throw a single punch, and he's taking millions of dollars from him. That's
all
stupid.
These promoters. Yeah, it's everyone from Bob Arum to Vince McMahon, Dana White, to anybody who's involved with that, where the fighters don't get really a fair cut of what they get. Yeah. It's obvious. I mean, if you go and they own 9 houses, and I think maybe they might be fucking digging a little deep here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're taking a little too much.
Yeah. That's what I totally agree. That's the silverness of the whole boxing situation here. You can't make anything unless you are on top of the world, and then you can call the shots. Other than that, you're just a fucking pawn who they're going to put you in to get your head knocked in. So Spinks said, I don't think anybody's going to steal me. Maybe people are trying, but there isn't a man alive who can take me away from Mitt. I love the man. We've been together and gone through too much for too long. That's why I like Mitt to be on the inside looking out. Okay, that's all his problems. Now his legal problems begin like a fucking avalanche. Okay.
Why?
Because he just beat Muhammad Ali, and rather than training a lot, all he's doing is going out to nightclubs and shit and being the heavyweight champ of the world and having everybody fucking love him and shower him with love and affection.
Yeah, but why does that cause legal problems, James?
Well, it starts out kind of small. A week after he wins the championship, the Hamilton Motor Hotel in Philadelphia sued him to collect $1,164 in room charges that he had run up but not paid. He lives there. He lives at the Motor Hotel in Philadelphia here.
Why?
That's where he's living. A week after that, the Nevada Athletic Commission suspends him for having a sore rib injected with Novocaine minutes before going into the ring to fight Ali. So they suspend him for a little while after that. Okay.
So that's illegal? Yeah.
Yeah. But it's not a performance enhancer, and it does, after 15 rounds, it's not going to do much, but it's still, they have to do something about it. So we're talking a week after he wins the championship, sued by the hotel that he was staying in, suspended from boxing. And then 9 days after that, the Woodbine Apartments in Philadelphia take him to court over $560 in unpaid back rent.
$560.
$560.
A month? 2 months? How long is that?
It's 2 months. 2 months rent.
A year?
Maybe. This is terrible. That's 2 months rent. The next day, the WBC, World Boxing Council, stops recognizing him. He's got 2 belts that he won from Ali, but the WBC stops recognizing him as the heavyweight champion because he refused to sign to fight Ken Norton, who's the top contender, choosing instead to sign it for a rematch against Ali, because that's where the fucking money is.
Yeah, that's bigger pay.
No one cares about Ken Norton. The storyline is, can Ali come back and fucking take his title back? So, so they end up giving the title to Ken Norton instead. They give it to Ken Norton, who ends up losing it to Larry Holmes later on. So that's how it works. Okay.
That's what happens when you gift something to somebody that is earned. They're going to lose it.
They're going to lose it. They're not going to take as good a care of it. So that's all happened. The day after that happens, after they strip him of one of his belts, he's arrested in St. Louis for going the wrong way on a one-way street and not having a license while doing it. Not carrying a license. He just has no driver's license whatsoever. It's not suspended. It's not revoked. It's just not existent. He just didn't get one ever. Just decided to get a car instead.
In the 1980s, a rosé swept the country.
Hey, Mike, I really like this White Zinfandel.
Well, good. Now put it down. I'm going to try another one.
White Zin became America's top-selling wine. But most don't know that this sweet drink has a sour history. What began in 1986 with counterfeit bottles.
A big fraud, a multi-million-dollar fraud.
Sent investigators chasing one of the most powerful families in the business, the Licciardis. But the closer the feds got to them, the more dangerous things became. It's a story of deceit.
At the time, I was paranoid.
Threats.
You touch my kids, I will kill you.
And murder.
With a .22 caliber bullet to the head.
What started with a scheme to mislabel wine spilled into a blood-soaked battle for succession. Welcome to Bloodvines. You can binge listen to Bloodvines exclusively and ad-free on Wondery Plus. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify. In the 1980s, a rosé swept the country.
Hey, Mike, I really like this White Zinfandel.
Well, good. Now put it down. I'm going to try another one.
White Zin became America's top-selling wine. But most don't know that this sweet drink has a sour history. What began in 1986 with counterfeit bottles.
A big fraud. A multi-million-dollar fraud.
Sent investigators chasing one of the most powerful families in the business, the Licciardis. But the closer the feds got to them, the more dangerous things became. It's a story of deceit.
At the time, I was paranoid.
Threats.
You touch my kids, I will kill you.
And murder.
With a .22 caliber bullet to the head.
What started with a scheme to mislabel wine spilled into a blood-soaked battle for succession. Welcome to Bloodvines. You can binge listen to Bloodvines exclusively and ad-free on Wondery Plus. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify.
He's taken to the station in handcuffs and booked for this. And they said that's not the normal thing. He was very nice, but they were kind of worried about him, just changing his mind and knocking one of them out. So they cuffed him.
It's just best if we restrain these things. That's all.
Oh, absolutely. He is ultimately fined. You, sir, may fuck off. $25 for this offense. A month later, he goes the wrong way on a one-way street again, driving without a license as well. Still didn't get one. He's fined $12 and $10 in court costs after he tells the judge that he's unfamiliar with the neighborhood in which he was driving, and that's why he got arrested. The judge should have said, but you don't have a driver's license. You're unfamiliar with cars, too. That's the problem. What are you talking about? What's wrong with you?
I didn't know that. But what about the license part? Oh, yeah, that's it.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Shit. Yeah, you're right. Oh, we reminded you, I don't know, a week ago not to do that. Remember when you got arrested for it? Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, shit, man. I forget sometimes. Muhammad Ali punched me for 15 rounds. So Bob Aram said, quote, all the landlord had to do is get in touch with me at Top Rank. I would have advanced the ones for rent and got it back from Leon later. Well, if you rent an apartment to somebody, you don't know who to hunt down to get the rent in case that person doesn't pay it.
Yeah.
You know, go, well, who's he work for? Let me call that guy and see if that'll fucking work.
Like garnish your check for rent. That's not a thing.
Maybe I'll garnish him. So March 19th, 1978, he is arrested again. This is for driving, Jesus, again the wrong way down a one-way street. He has no fucking...
He doesn't know what... Sense arrows work?
Of arrows. He's not getting this arrow thing. Maybe if he would have, gotten a driver's license, they would have taught him that.
Explain out what those signs mean.
Yeah, he's like, is that what that is? Oh, shit. Okay.
There's a whole book with a key and everything. I think it's an index page or something.
One way, like you're only allowed to drive one way. Okay, right. I get it. See, I thought like you can go one way or the other way, and I didn't know what they were saying. This way's one way, I guess. I don't know.
It says one way. I just picked my own. Dealer's choice. Is that what it is?
I think it is. It's dealer's choice. So he flies from later on that night, flies from St. Louis to Miami, spends a night in Miami Beach, and then he's supposed to go from Miami Beach to the Bahamas, and he does a tour of the Caribbean doing like 3-round exhibitions that don't count as anything. Just fucking around and doing some stuff. April, making money is what he's doing.
Right.
April 22nd, 1978, 4 o'clock in the morning at the White Castle. Right across the street from his home projects in St. Louis.
Yeah.
He's the heavyweight champ of the world. He's hanging out at the projects at the White Castle at 4 a.m. I get keep it real and shit, but you have to expect, A, there's no criminals that are going to be out to get you, and B, there's going to be fucking cops that want to fuck with you, take you down a notch. There's going to be carjackers. There's going to be hustlers. There's every fucking thing you can imagine trying to take you out anywhere. And that's anywhere you go. A casino, the projects, a boardroom, it doesn't matter.
His favorite excuse is, I didn't know the neighborhood. This one, he has zero excuse. You know this neighborhood. You know this very well.
Well, this is different here. He is with, by the way, a 26-year-old woman named Charlene Gunn, who really is the whole catalyst of this whole thing. And definitely not his wife. And he's with her at 4 o'clock in the morning at White Castle, so that's not going to look good later on.
Yeah.
He pulls into the White Castle with his headlights off at 4 o'clock in the morning, apparently. So as he pulls in, a cop is in the parking lot and asks him why your headlights aren't on. And he said, I don't know. I just came from across the street and didn't put them on.
Didn't know the neighborhood.
Don't know the neighborhood. It's, I know it so well, I don't need to see it to know where I'm fucking going. That's how well I know this neighborhood.
I know this neighborhood.
No. This isn't like before. Officer. So they said, all right, well, let's see your driver's license. And he's like, I don't have a driver's license. What are you kidding me?
That?
Obviously not. Have you looked up my record?
Right.
So at this point, Charlene Gunn in the passenger seat is, according to the police report, starts cursing and yelling at them and calling them racist and saying that if he was white, he wouldn't be fucking... asked why he didn't have his headlights on and all this stuff. So then she starts getting like real abusive with them, calling him fucking names and shit. And so they said they began to search Spinks, and they got them out of the car. They start to search Spinks, and Spinks, he's got like a big wide brim black hat on, and there's a lot of pictures of him wearing it. It's like a big fedora. So he takes his hat off while they're searching him and throws it on top of the car. So the other officer grabs the hat, hands it back to him, and he takes it off and throws it over on top of the car again, like away from him a couple of feet.
Yeah.
So they're like, that's weird. Why would you, we Put it back on your fucking head. So the cop takes it and looks in it. Maybe he's hiding something. Goes around the hat band. Finds a tinfoil wrapper here.
Oh, no.
With some white powder in it. Happens to be cocaine.
Yeah.
Yes. So they said also they find a small amount of marijuana on him when he searched at the police station later as well. And we'll find out exactly how small. Problem is, too, Charlene's got a purse full of weed. Like, she's got it bagged for sale. She's got, or they just bought, 8 nickel bags or something, which is highly possible. I mean, that's how a lot of places you'd get weed, is in, nickels or dimes or something. So, she's got a purse full of nicks, so they're going to bust her as well here.
Okay.
So, the next day, this comes out. Spinks arrested for cocaine. You know what I mean? It sounds, when you hear how little it is, it's remarkable, but it sounds bad. Ali in the newspaper the next day says he's been framed because they're going to fight again, and they got to have people want to fucking see this guy fight. So Ali needs to say it's worth millions for him to be framed. You know what I mean?
Right.
So Ali comes out in the paper and says that he's been framed. He is also, his mom is saying he's framed. Bunch of people are saying Leon's been framed. He is accused of cocaine, which is a possession of cocaine, a felony at that point, carrying a maximum punishment of 10 years in prison. So,
oh my,
big deal. Also, possession of marijuana, which is a misdemeanor, and maximum of 1 year in prison. But he's got no criminal record, so it's not other than driving fucked up. Yeah. His mother, Kay, says that she believed the charges were a plant. And that the affair, she said, in the end, the affair may prove a blessing in disguise. She has so much faith in Jesus, man. It's wild. I'm all for, if that's what's good for you, great. But, that's a lot. Whether it's the Olympics, Muhammad Ali, cocaine charges, she believes. She believes.
She's sticking with it.
She said, quote, "This is an opportunity God gave for an even greater blessing for Leon. With a spirit of love and humbleness, we can overcome." This lady is fucking beautiful, man. She's just
the motherfucker out of this thing.
Whew, she's fucking. You need a woman like that around, or someone to go, wow, okay, all right, I can do it, I guess. Yeah, she's pumping you up. Ali goes on with Barbara Walters, with fucking Barbara Walters on ABC News, and says that he believes the charges were a frame-up designed to destroy him. He said, quote, "Somebody found some marijuana in his car or cocaine. He's got the title and certain people want to take it from him. They seem to be doing everything to destroy him, and I just think it's all a setup. Someone probably planted it because he's the champion and a great fighter and has no reason to take cocaine or smoke reefers." Smoke reefers like it's the 40s. Did Ali start out in a jazz band or something in the 30s?
He's from Louisville. That's what did it.
He's smoking reefers? That is hilarious. Wow. So anyway, Charlene Gunn was arrested as well, like I said. Now, when he's pulled over, he's already in the parking lot. When they come up and ask for his driver's license, he doesn't say, "I don't have a driver's license," or something like that. He says, quote, "Come on, man, you know who I am. I don't have one." You know I don't drive with a license. Which is,
you know who I am. I'm the champ. And now you remember that the champ doesn't drive.
Yeah. Well, he's saying, you're a cop here. All the cops know I don't have a license, obviously. Right. You know I'm Leon Spinks, the unlicensed heavyweight champion of the world. You know that. 2 things you know about me. Champ, no license when you find me. That's it. Why are we even talking about this?
Don't ask dumb questions.
Yeah. The officer said about the woman in the car, quote, "If she hadn't given us such a hard time, I imagine he would have simply given Spinks a traffic summons and not even bothered to look in his hat. He certainly gave us no trouble." They said it was there. They found weed as well, like I said. They said they were analyzing it all. Charlene Gunn, she was arrested, several, quote, packets of marijuana in her purse. Packets. It's ready for shipping. She was.
They sell weed like Pop Rocks there.
Yeah, packets, little envelopes, sealed. Said that they were booked on. She's booked on possession of marijuana and interfering with a police officer as well. Her brother, by the way, the cops knew her because her brother Charles Gunn was found shot to death 3 days after Spinks won the title, and they believed that her brother who was shot to death was an accomplice in a 2-week earlier burglary at the St. Louis Art Museum where 4 statues were stolen.
Oh.
He's doing some fucking like highbrow art thievery. That's if you fucking okay. Like I grew up in a shitty area with poor people around. If I stole valuable statues from an art museum, I would have no fucking idea where to sell those as that person ever. I would have not.
Unloading them is one thing. Unloading them is crazy.
Yeah.
To try to get the actual money they're worth.
Yeah. Now we have them.
Call?
If you don't put them like in your house, what else are you going to fucking do with them? Right. You're going to get either arrested or fucked over hardcore by somebody who, knows what they're doing.
Sell them for very cheap.
Yeah. So he was implicated in the burglary and then was killed. So that's how that happened. Now, the patrolman Stanley Merzajewski is Merzejewski. That's the officer.
Wow.
Officer Polak over here. He described Spinks as, quote, he said he was a little high-strung at first, but then he quickly settled down, and he said, quote, we hated to arrest him.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
We liked him. Asked about the arrest, he says, I don't really have any comment at all. It just happened. That's what Leon says. They said, were you treated unjustly? And he said, yeah, I felt that way, but ain't nothing I can do about it now. And they said, do you feel your rights were violated? And he says, yeah, I think so. Then they said,
does that entitle me to a lawsuit? Then fuck yeah.
I think so. Then they said, that means, do I want to go to jail for cocaine? No, I don't, actually.
Not really.
Then they asked, do you think you're being harassed? And he said, no, not really, which is a total opposite of what so.
Which is it?
Yeah. Why were they? Okay. He said, quote, I didn't have no cocaine allegedly found in the hat. I didn't know nothing was there. Okay. Then Bob Aram says, of course, because he's going to be the silverest motherfucker ever here. His money is depending on this. He says, this is the United States. Okay. I'm going to say something clear as a thing. If someone who's in any criminal trouble, anybody, someone somebody, fucking movie star, doesn't matter, anybody gets in trouble for anything and their first words of explanation is, quote, this is the United States, they're so fucking guilty, it's disgusting. They're so fucking, that's not, I didn't do it because bang, 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 not, this is the United States. Okay, that's not what I asked you of whether you did it or not. I know where we are. Thank you.
How are you going to couch this excuse?
That's anybody. It's every time. And as far and a man is innocent until proven guilty, he says. That's true. As far as I personally know, Leon does not use drugs. Okay, great. So he said he didn't know anything was there. And one of the cops said he said that he wasn't going to. They weren't going to respond to whether they were planting evidence. He said, all I can say is that we typed the report and presented the facts as they were, and the warrants were issued after the circuit attorney saw the reports. So there you go. Mm-hmm. Michael said he doesn't know a lot about what Leon's doing right now, his brother Michael. He says, but, quote, ever since the Olympics, they've been giving us hell, stopping and searching us, expecting us to be fooling with drugs. That's what he says. After the Olympics, the police say the car I rented the day before was a dope trap, that I was being used to sell dope. Instead of searching the car, they wanted to search me. They knew who I was, but they kind of pretended they didn't know and tried to sling around, throw me up against the car, and try to search me. But I refused to let them do it. I knew I had nothing to do with dealing drugs. That's not me. They want me to walk around with my head down because we have been boxing out of Philadelphia. St. Louis don't appreciate what we did. That's all Michael saying. That's what's going on. So the police here, the official police response is, we don't ask our officers to give people breaks, but the officers do have discretion in traffic cases. We expect them to be fair to everyone. If it's drugs, it's drugs, be it Leon Spinks or the President of the United States. Yeah. There you go. So you want to hear about what a fucking load of drugs he had?
How much
Jimmie,
drug mule packing?
It was, Leon, honestly, it's like a Scarface level of drugs here. In a tinfoil wrapper, they found 1/100th of a gram of cocaine.
It's like 7
particles.
grains of coke.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And 0.21 of a gram of marijuana. So
how do they have a scale capable of measuring that?
That's like a roach and a fucking. That's a digital scale. You can measure 1/100 of a gram on that, but
that small of a fucking. It's nothing. That's breathing on it.
That's how people sell drugs. Those 1/100 of a gram add up after a while if you have an empire. So that's
blowing on it.
Digital. It's grains. It's literally grains and a fifth of a fucking gram of marijuana as well. So a roach and coke from 2 years ago that he had in his hat or something. So. The detective here with the police department narcotics bureau said the street value of the whole. I love when they do street values and it's always really inflated.
$2.50.
$1.50. He said. Said street value about $1.50 on this one. Not a big bust. So
we're gonna hold him for 10 years on this.
Yeah, he was basically this is fucking stupid. So his lawyers, Leon's lawyers, start looking for witnesses to this to back up his story. They give out handbills. They fucking print stuff and hand it out at the White Castle that it happened at. One of the guys here, his lawyer said, quote, there apparently were a lot of people there at the time. That's a high traffic area, even at 4:00 in the morning. We're hoping that somebody heard the conversation. There's a number of unanswered questions. We saw the police version. I'm looking for the other side. The handbill says, quote, urgent. We need your help. Anyone having seen the arrest of Leon Spinks at 4 a.m. Friday, April 21st, 1978, please call his lawyer. And it has the number.
Yeah.
4 days later, they get a witness. A man comes forward, says he witnessed this, and disputes the police version that he was stopped because his headlights weren't shining. This is Don Taylor, who works at a storage firm that says here. He said he was in his car in the parking lot when Spinks was arrested. He said the lights on Spinks's car were on. One of the policemen walked up to Spinks as soon as he drove onto the lot and asked him for his driver's license. The officers who made the arrest said they did not recognize Spinks before talking to him on the lot. They knew who he was before and they went up to him. I heard one of them say, "Hey, there's Leon Spinks." He's got no teeth, so he's and he's probably wearing the championship belt over his shoulder while he's driving.
He's wearing a giant fucking felt hat.
No shit, man. So yeah, that's what they have. They have that. So the result is in May, a St. Louis Circuit Court grand jury refuses to indict Leon Spinks on drug charges. That's ridiculous. Fucking, it's so nothing.
$150. $1.50.
It's so stupid. He is fined $50 in court costs for driving without a license, though, obviously. Yeah. He was scheduled to have a preliminary hearing, but his attorney asked for a grand jury appearance instead, and they refused to indict him, so that was that. People think he needs guidance. That's all it is. He just won the title like 3 months ago, so 2 months ago.
$1.50.
$1.50. Ken Norton comes up here. $1.50. For weed and coke.
Combined street value.
Literally a roach and 4 grains of cocaine. Like even if you sprinkled the 4 grains on the roach, you're still not getting much of a buzz off of that. It's really hard.
You're really going to have to smoke that down.
You couldn't get a toddler high on that. Come on, deep breath. Let's go.
You better hope there's a shitload of resin at the tip of that joint.
Oh, God. It's really, really concentrated. You'd have to be. So Ken Norton says, quote, he's on a self-destructive course. Ken Norton's the other heavyweight champ that he had to give the belt to. He needs someone he can really confide in, someone who can straighten him out. Leon, about that, they ask him, and he says, quote, I got a friend, my wife. Someone who'll take this big old dick. That's what I got.
Don't you
kidding
worry
me?
about me?
That's a friend. Have you seen this thing? Hold on. Let me slap it on the table. There. See that?
Anybody accommodating that is a hell of a friend.
That's a hell of a lady right there. And as far as being confused, I'm no more confused than the average man going to a new job. Yeah, he's only had 7-8 fights right now.
Right.
Like we talk about these guys, they don't get into the famous shit till they're 20. It's usually like their 20th fight. The Olympics is
and
just
some of his fights were so fast, it was barely a fight.
Yeah, he doesn't have that many rounds of experience at all.
He's being honest. This is still a new job.
Fuck yeah. They ask him, are you being used by people around you? And he says, quote, nobody makes a move unless I say they can do it. So there's that. Mitt Barnes, his manager there, said, quote, he doesn't like being told what to do. He don't like to be watched, and he don't like to be followed. Okay. He don't like to be watched, and he don't like to be followed. I'll tell you that right now. Cigar
like
out of his mouth. Yeah, he doesn't want to be any of that shit. He says, quote, this is Mitt again, I will if they let me. That's what he says. They're talking about his bodyguard. Never mind. So his dad, they talked to Leon's dad at this point. Funny that he's resurfaced now. Yeah. Hey, how you doing, Leon? Yeah, oof, I always knew you had it in you. Yeah. When I was beating you with that cord while you dangled from a nail when you were 8, I thought this kid's got potential. Look how he's taking this. It's pretty good.
So I gave you my name because I knew you were just as good as me. I knew
you were special. Dad says, quote, Leon never ran the streets when he was a kid. He always was in the gym. He's run the streets more in the last 6 months than he ever did as a kid. So,
how do you know?
Yeah, that's what I mean. I know because I was in jail and people told me. Now, Leon says, quote, there are good points and bad points to being champion. The bad point is trying to be a human being, just an average human being like everybody else. I would like to be able to do a job and when it's over, enjoy my life. That's why you wouldn't be getting that much money if you could do that. That's the problem with that. No one's going to pay you $5 million to do something for an hour and then go home and have nobody bother you.
Right. Give it some time. You'll be irrelevant enough to spend it later.
No shit. So they ask him, are you broke? Do you have money? Mm-hmm. And he said, quote, how in the world could I be broke? I don't keep 450 people around me like Ali. So, yeah, Ali's got quite the entourage at that point. So here we go. More arrests. Okay. He ends up, the possession charges are dropped, like I said, and he pays a $10 fine. Told you about that. Now, on the way here, now he has to go to Jacksonville, North Carolina to do training, right? Mm-hmm. So he is arrested there for driving without a license and having an expired registration as well on the way to go train.
Yeah.
$52 fine there. Then the next day, he is driving near Jacksonville, North Carolina, and he gets hit in a radar trap doing 40 and a 20 with no license, obviously. So
he didn't fix that the last day.
Nope. He's fined $27 and just a bunch of court costs, too. Then he ends up going to Miami, where they said he just disappeared into partying for a couple of weeks, just gone. Yeah. Just lost him completely there.
Having a great time in Miami.
Then he ends up in Elyria, Ohio, Elyria. There's a farm up there that they train on. A bunch of boxers train there. And he drives his Cadillac through somebody's fence on the first day he's in town. Leon should really take like a driving course and get a license. Like, you know what I mean? He really should. I feel like it would help him a lot because he would know laws. He would know how to stay on the road, maybe all the instruments and everything. And then when he did get pulled over, it would be a simple transaction. It wouldn't end up in jail.
He also needs Google Maps because not knowing neighborhoods is dangerous for this man.
One-way streets, driving in through fences. I mean, Jesus, it's a goddamn fence.
Fences usually signify don't come through here.
That tells you now with your car anyway.
Yeah.
So he's been cited so many fucking times. It's ridiculous here. He's arrested. He's ticketed. He's fucking towed. He does all this shit. He also ends up reaching an out-of-court settlement with the owners of a Portage, Michigan house, which he lived in. They claim that he damaged it beyond repair, and he had to pay $16,000 in damages and bought the house from them.
16? That's what is it?
He just bought the house. Yeah, he fucked it all up somehow. Okay, now, teeth. Let's talk more about his teeth here. Yeah. His wife, Nova, by the way, she's the one who is impressed with his long, thick, and massive cock.
Right.
They say, and Leon says that she's the one who's everybody's afraid of in the family. It's not him. Oh. She said that, quote, I never beat up on Nova. She beat up on me. That's what he says here. Yeah. When we was dating, I'd come home with a bloody nose, and my mother would ask me what happened, and I'd say, the N-word's got me. That's not what he said, obviously, but I'm going to say that. He said, but it was Nova. His girlfriend was whooping his ass, not the other people.
N-word. Nova.
She didn't give me no bruises, but man, she beat my ass. That's
wow.
a great line. Tell you how tough she was. When I walked down the street with her, wasn't no N-words going to bother me. He's like, it's shit change. Everybody in the neighborhood's not bothering my ass. So
Nova's a badass.
Yeah. Oh man. According to Nova here, she said at this point in time, he's pulled in a million different directions, including to White Castle with other women. So, and the stress of their marriage it puts a lot of stress on them, and she files for divorce here during this whole thing as well.
Really?
He hasn't had another fight since Ali. Think about that. Arrest, fucking sued and this and that, and managers. And have you heard fighting, training, eating? None of this shit. Nothing. Drama is what you hear, driving through fences and shit. Anyway, as a part of their divorce, this is fucking amazing, okay? Nova gets the house, first of all, and is also awarded, I don't know how she got this, one of the sets of his teeth.
What?
She apparently she took this I'm taking half shit seriously and took, I'm not kidding you, got one of his sets of fucking teeth. What the fuck is she going to do with his teeth? I don't care how fair it is financially. You can't use those. Why should you have them?
You got the house. What do you need my teeth for, too?
How vindictive is that? That's like True Lies. What kind of a sick bitch takes the ice trays? She took his teeth, man. That's sick.
You generally add up the assets, divide them down the middle. I guess they had 2 sets of teeth.
What if he had 2 prosthetic legs? Does she get one of, like, what the fuck are we talking about? This is shit that's in his body. It's not like, shit that could be sold at a pawn shop. I've never seen teeth for sale at a pawn shop.
She get his going out teeth or like his casual teeth?
He's got Joe Pepitone. He's got his gamer rug and his fucking going out rug. These are my going out teeth. So she's awarded a pair of his teeth, which is a set of his teeth, which is amazing.
That's incredible.
So he's still the WBA champion because the WCBC stripped him, like we said. So September 1st, 1978.
Right.
This is fucking amazing. He is involved in a traffic problem, but this time it's not actually his fault. He is preparing for the bout that's coming up on September 15th with Muhammad Ali. And for 2 weeks, he's going to be in, Hilton Head, South Carolina. Oh, no, that's there. I think they're down in New Orleans, I think, where this fight's going to be, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Superdome in New Orleans. Okay. So they're in New Orleans. He's coming from the airport to his hotel. He's the champion there for an Ali fight. He has a motorcade. I'm serious. A motorcade, limos, all this shit, right? So the officers are escorting him to the hotel. One of the officers rear ends the fucking back of his limo.
Yeah.
$35,000 limo. So Spinks gets out and starts arguing with the fucking guy. It's your fucking police escort. Figure it out later. You have managers. Get the city will pay for it. It's a fucking cop ran into you. Yeah. God damn, that's pretty funny. Yeah, the city's they're gonna get yelled at later. Fuck, man.
That's not my problem. I don't own either of those vehicles.
He gets out, starts arguing about it, which is fucking amazing.
Did he give him a ticket for no license?
No shit, right? So they end up, he ends up nothing there. So he's not driving, which is good. He's in the back of the limo. It would be funny if he hopped out of the driver's seat of the limo and he has no license.
He's driving his own limo.
Oh, shit. Like a month ago, too, he was in Hilton Head, South Carolina in a minor traffic accident as well. It was the fault of the other party at that point, and no charges were filed there. September 15th, 1978, Ali Spinks 2.
All right.
This is a big fucking deal. His manager, George Benton, said, quote, "The only way Leon loses the fight is if he loses to Leon." There you go. If he goes haywire, doesn't live right, I just don't know how the fighter lives. But the only way he loses is if he falls on his own face. So there you go. And they asked Ali, like, why'd you force him to get stripped of the belt to have this fight, basically? Why couldn't you have waited till after that? And Ali said, this game is money. With the following I have, Spinks and me is the money fight.
There you go.
Yeah, he's like, what are we? We're not doing this for prestige here. We're doing this for fucking money. We're all getting punched. We're all getting our brains bashed in on a week. We're trying to stack as much as you can until I can't remember my name anymore and can't do this. So
the more money you have at the end, the better the health care of who takes care of you when you piss your own pants.
Fucking exactly. So this, by the way, totally different than last time when his mom snuck in and held the Bible and that was the only person there. This time at the Hilton nearby, 61 rooms are charged to Leon Spinks.
Holy shit. He's
for
everybody he's ever met there.
He just said, I don't have 450 people around me like Ali. And it's like, well, if you have
rooms.
5 to a fucking room, you do. Or 6 to a room, you do. So anyway, they cost him $7,000 a day.
A day?
A day for 2 weeks. Then there's another 50 rooms throughout the city that were filled by other members of his entourage that he was also paying for.
Holy fuck.
So they're all in his corner, too, and all that kind of shit. It's pretty fucking interesting. Now, as the fight goes on, he's just not as... They said he's just not with it. He seems like he's in another world. He just won't do anything. He said his manager said Leon just didn't seem interested. And it's 70,000 people are filling the Superdome, most of them rooting for Ali to fucking win it back. That's the storyline.
Doesn't seem turned on.
Yeah, he's just not turned on by it. Leon said, they didn't bother me, the fans. I blocked them out. I wasn't out of shape. I put on some weight, but I was still in shape. How can you be out of shape? I went 30 rounds with the man. So this fight goes all 15 fucking rounds again. He watches the videotape, by the way. They gave him a videotape, and I guess it was from like ESPN Classic or some shit. I don't know where the fuck, but he said it was edited. And he says, I think I won the second fight. I know they just show 7 rounds in the whole fight. The ones I won, they cut out. Why just show 7 rounds? Where were the other rounds? Why didn't he win? Why did he win a unanimous decision and not show the whole 15 rounds? It does go to a decision, and Ali wins in a unanimous decision. So now he's 7-1-1 and has no title, and is just this guy who beat Ali once. Yeah. And he says about it, he thinks he should have won. Leon does. He says, I didn't say nothing. Why should I? It's politics. They wanted Ali. It ain't what you know, but who you know. So there you go. He says at one point he looks, Spinks is called an untrained boxer by Howard Cosell. And he says, fucking Howard, which is just fucking funny. 8 hours later, though, there was something cool, he thought. Apparently, this was the time when Anwar Sadat and Menachem Begin and Jimmy Carter were having the Camp David fucking summit there, which was a big goddamn deal, and they all watched the fight together.
Is that right?
Yeah, and Ali said, can you imagine that? The president calling me and letting me know that they all thought it was a good fight. So there you go.
How cool is that?
That's fucking neat. Bob Arum said, quote, Leon went to places our people wouldn't go. He was out drunk or drinking every night down here. I'm surprised he didn't wind up with a knife in him. Jesus Christ. He was partying the whole time in New Orleans, not training. He said, I'm not sure the kid will ever fight again. Jesus Christ. Really? He was the champ yesterday. No, I'm not sure I'll ever fight again. He said, I've never.
Industry, my God, boxing.
Ready to flush him.
Out. Yeah, putting all this pressure on this guy and then
Ready
just throw him in the trash?
Done. Yeah, he said, I've never dealt with anything like this before. I'm not sure what he'll do. He said, if you know Leon, then he's probably relieved because he didn't like this. Bob Arum said, quote, later on, what we witnessed last night was a great tragedy for boxing and for a human being. Part of it was my fault for putting a kid in for a heavyweight championship fight when he wasn't mentally ready, when he wasn't able to accept the responsibility of being a heavyweight champion. His camp was total chaos. I don't want to take anything away from Ali, but he was fighting a fighter who had retrogressed since February. For a young fighter, that's a tragedy. He's got a dozen people around him who want to put their hooks in him. He's a kid who's totally confused. He's so screwed over, he didn't even have the guts to tell people around him just to leave him alone and just to listen to George. You can't have a dozen sharks confusing young fighters.
Okay.
I would say. He says that he never saw a penny of the $3 million purse that he was supposed to make, Leon says.
Really?
From that fight. He says, well, what can I do? What can you do about it? The money they stole all my money. That's what he says. Then they said it was Ali, your toughest fight. And Leon said, nah, Ali wasn't the toughest fight I ever had. The toughest fight I had was in the street. That's probably true, especially with the cops. He said, I didn't understand what it meant to be heavyweight champ. I was just Leon, and that's all I ever wanted to be, just Leon. He didn't have that Ali thing of wanting to be the most famous
ever.
person,
Yeah.
the most famous person in the world. His trainer, Sam Solomon, said, when Leon became champ, it was like taking a man off the street and making him president.
Mm-hmm.
He'd be confused. If you've ever seen Dave, you know that'd be very confusing for him. So, Kevin Kline, very confused. So, yeah, it is what it is. But now they've wrote his obituary already.
Right,
wrote
it's
him
over
off
for him.
Wrote him off as a fucking bum, and it was all our fault and all this shit. Well, it was your fault, but that's beside the point. So October 21st, 78, a month later, he's involved in an accident in Ohio in his new Corvette.
Yeah.
October 28th, 1978, a week later, he's involved in another accident in a Corvette, this time driving it through a fence at a shopping center. He doesn't see fences, this guy. That's the problem.
He's so bad at driving.
He's so fucking bad at driving. It's not even
worst.
funny. November 21st, less than a month later, 1978, he's arrested for driving without a license after getting in an accident in Detroit with his new Lincoln Continental because he destroyed his Corvette.
Now it's illegal. You can't buy a car without a license. Thank God you can't. I wish he could have done it then.
Then, if you went in with a bag of cash, they'd sell you. They'd sell you one of their salesmen if you want.
Right.
You want to take him with you? Put him in the trunk, tie him up, put him in a gimp mask later, fuck him in the ass with your giant cock. Yeah, it's an extra $1,500. We'll throw in rust proofing. What do you say? So December 22nd, 1978, this is a month later, his new Cadillac that he just bought is reported stolen and found smashed into a tree in Ohio.
I'll bet it wasn't stolen.
So I'm going to go out on a limb here and say he smashed his Cadillac into a tree in Ohio, looked around and said, shit, nobody saw that? I'm going to say my car was stolen. Easier than getting arrested.
Out on a limb. He parked it on a limb.
Yeah, he parked it into a limb.
Yeah.
So June 1979 is his next fight. February, September, and now June.
And he's been through 3 cars since then.
So many cars, so many arrests, so much drama. This is in Monte Carlo. Okay. He fights Jerry Coetzee, I think's his name. Coetzee, Coetzee. I think it's Coetzee or Coetzee. I remember this guy, the Boksburg Bomber.
What?
Yeah. He's a South African guy, this guy. He comes in 21-0 here, so pretty good guy.
Solid, yeah.
Spinks is knocked down 3 times in this fight and in the first round.
Oh, my.
And it's a TKO loss.
Ouch.
So he goes from going 15 with the fucking champ, with fucking Ali, with the greatest, to getting knocked out in one round by the Boksburg Bomber.
I don't even know where Boksburg is.
South Africa, I would assume. Yeah. Only because I know he's South African.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, his manager said, quote, Leon made a couple of stupid mistakes and got tagged. He should not have rushed the guy the way he did. Then, when he was in the clinch, Spinks raised his head and Coetzee clobbered him. Coetzee didn't show me anything I didn't expect. Leon said, I asked the Lord to help me in this. I was in good shape, but I really did not expect this. So, yeah, there you go. He's not doing well at this point now. He's upset. At the same time, too, there was about 1,500 people there. It was a small arena. And because the opponent was South African, there was a lot of South African people there. Sure. And I don't know if it was nickel beer night, but everyone there said they'd never seen a drunker crowd than that crowd. And I don't know if you know this, but South Africa has a pretty shitty history with a lot of stuff. Yeah. And in 1979, there was still hardcore apartheid and shit down there. The crowd was just yelling terrible fucking shit at him and racial slurs the whole time and everything else. Like it was pretty bad stuff here. After the fight, he went into his corner and started crying.
I would too.
It's just fucked, man. That's all fucked out. His career is looking bad.
They called me a bum and then I just behaved like one.
Well, yeah, they called him worse than that. And then Bob Arum you're talking about.
Yeah. In America, they called me a bum.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
So it was over for me. And then I came down here and proved it's over for me. And this crowd reminded me.
They reminded me that they were thrilled with that, by the way.
Yeah.
He then locked himself in a dressing room and refused to do any interviews.
Wow.
Once he left the dressing room, he would not answer any questions, only saying, I got beaten. What else can I say? And then he left. That was that. Got his you get knocked out in the first round. You get knocked out in the first round.
You don't have to call me the champ to be my friend.
To be my friend. To be my friend. He added that all he remembered of the last part of the fight was seeing an overhand right, and that was it. And then here I am in the back. So, it was rough. January 10th, 1980.
Yeah.
Few months later, New Leon. There's an article in the paper. It's it. Leon turned it all around, ready to be the champ again. He's good now. He's turning it on. He said that that's the old Leon Spinks, all that stuff. He said, now, quote, I expect a lot from myself. 1980 is going to be my year to prove to myself and to other people the new Leon Spinks is here to stay.
Okay.
He's here, baby. By the way, the new Leon Spinks was 2.5 hours late for this interview that happened. He missed a plane that he was supposed to catch to get him to do all this shit. So, yeah, it's pretty fucking hilarious. He said, it's in my heart and soul. I'm going to get back there, back on top.
Okay.
He's going to do it, man. How's he going to do it? He hooked up with Don King now. So now it's all set. New promoter, new manager, ready to go. Then he says, quote, I'm trying to manage myself. I can't do worse for myself than other people have done for me. The toughest part of professional fighting is what goes on outside the ring. True. He went to the farm to train, like we talked about, the Ohio farm, and he said he loves the country, loves training up there, and his trainer said he does a really good job when he's up here. Quote, outside of that 48-hour lapse, he's worked very hard. Yeah. Apparently, he disappeared for 48 hours and got arrested for drunk driving while he was gone.
Oh, my God.
So there you go. He's arrested for drunk driving and gone. And then he goes back to the training and buckles down and trains more. So, January 12th, 1980, 2 days after this, the whole thing that comes out in the paper, at Resorts International in Atlantic City, he fights Alfredo Evangelista, 33-4-2.
Oh.
So solid opponent, not a pushover here. He knocks Alfredo out in the 5th round, though, bringing him to 8-2-1 is his record.
Wow.
So, fuck. That's wild.
And used to be champ.
Last year. Fuck.
Yeah.
March 1980 at the Aladdin in Vegas, Eddie the Animal Lopez he fights. This goes all 10 rounds. Lopez, keep in mind, has a point deducted in the 5th for headbutting, okay? Mm-hmm. This goes all 10 rounds. It's a split decision draw again. Split decision draw again.
And he tried to give you the win.
Yep. If it wasn't for that, he would have fucking lost there probably.
Yeah.
Maybe. It depends on the round, but still. So he's 8-2-2 now. That doesn't sound good. May of 1980, Circle Star Theater he's at in San Carlos. San Carlos what? I don't even know where that is.
Oklahoma?
Probably. Texas.
New Mexico?
Oh, no, let's hope not. He fights Kevin Isaac, who's 14-6-2. Wins this fight by TKO in the 8th round, Leon does. 9-2-2. Next up, Caesar's Palace in October of 1980 versus Bernardo Mercado, and he's 26-2-0 coming in. Oh. This fight goes 9-12, and he wins by TKO. So 10-2-2 at this point. All right, so the new Leon is
doing great.
1980 has been his year so far. Yeah. It's been well. That ends pretty quickly once 1981 rolls around.
Is that right?
January 16th, 1981, everybody. Whew, here it goes. Okay. The title of this article is, quote, Spinks tells of robbery.
Yeah?
Former heavyweight boxing champion, Detroit champion Leon Spinks told police he was knocked unconscious by an unseen attacker outside of a Detroit bar and robbed of his jewelry, clothing, including a long fox coat, blue fox coat, all of this shit, and his teeth.
Somebody mugged him for his clothes and his teeth?
His jewelry, his clothes, and his teeth. Talk about fucking strip, motherfucker. That's like, wow.
Got anything loose in your mouth? Hand those over too.
Got any fillings? I might be able to fucking melt them down. Like, what are you doing? Wow. That's not the crazy part, Jimmie. Okay? This is the crazy part. This is his story. I walked out, was hit in the head. It didn't knock me unconscious, though, because I remember some stuff happening. They're stealing my shit. But I woke up. And next thing I know, I woke up in a hotel room 5 miles from the scene of the attack, completely naked on a bed. That's his story.
I don't believe him.
He was robbed for his clothes, jewels, and teeth, and then they took him to a prearranged hotel room, let him sleep it off, but stripped him down.
Yeah.
They saw his dick, got scared, and ran away. We're like, what are we doing? Oh, my God. That thing gets hard. It could kill us all.
We could all be in a lot of trouble.
So 5 miles away, too. Drove him 5 miles, and that's his story. He said he struck on the head about 11:30 as he left the Spears Bar. Where is this? In Detroit.
Okay.
He said he left the bar. He said he didn't regain consciousness for nearly 13 hours.
Holy shit.
That's a severe head injury.
Yeah.
If you don't regain consciousness for 13 hours, that's called a coma, is what that's called. That's not a fucking, that's a different type of arrangement there.
That's certainly a condition. You need medical attention.
Fuck me. So all that stuff, I guess the Blue Fox coat was a full-length coat, too. That thing was probably worth 20 grand, for Christ's sake. So this is what he remembers. Keep in mind, heavyweight champion of the world.
Right.
He's being attacked. If you're that guy, how might you fight back? Probably with your fists, right? I would imagine.
Throw some blows, yeah.
He says, quote, I was trying to bite the guy, and my teeth came out, and he stole them. Then he says, this is the best, because this is the third time his teeth have been taken from him.
Yeah.
By either legal fucking decree or thievery.
Or hotel security, hotel cleaning.
He sums it all up really, really succinctly here. Quote, it's so damn weird people taking my teeth.
Yes, Leon, it is.
It's so damn weird people taking my teeth, man. Holy shit. So, yeah, that's fucking amazing. Now, the teeth, the fucked up part is they ended up finding the teeth under the bed he was found in.
Oh?
That's where they were. He didn't find them. The police later on, when they searched the room after he was long gone, they found the teeth under there. Okay? They said, but they have to hold them as evidence, and he'll get them back later.
So is that 4 times they were stolen?
I guess it's 4 now. Can I borrow them to eat a sandwich? I mean, what the fuck, man? I want to have like I want a crispy bun. Can I get a
visitation?
Could I just borrow my teeth for a while, for shit's sake? But
could you dust them and give them back? Because, I mean...
The problem is eyewitnesses refute all of this.
Yeah.
All of this. Eyewitnesses said there was never any thugs. He left with a woman and drove away. Some lady drugged him in a hotel room and stole all his shit.
Him. Yeah.
That's what happened. They just drugged him and robbed him. And he, rather than say, I got played, and also, who knows if he's in a relationship with someone or whatever, he says, guys just knocked me out and stole my teeth. Like, that's not a fucking realistic thing.
That may have been a dream he had while he was out.
That's possible.
That's not what happened.
That is fucking possible. And also he had a shitload of cash on him, too, which I'm sure, people saw when he took it out to pay for drinks at the bar. Anyway, yeah. So June 12th, 1981, he says, quote, I hear what people be saying. Which I hope you do, Leon. Holy shit. He'll always acknowledge his fuck-ups. That's the funny part. He says, they forget I got experience now. In what? Booking and receiving? What the fuck are you talking about? He says, they looking for me to play the fool. That's why I got to read this in its entirety here because this is great. Quote, I hear what people be saying. They forget I got experience now. They looking for me to play the fool. That's why when I want to get freaky deaky, I got to go behind closed doors.
Well, Leon.
What he's saying is it was a chick and he went to get freaky deaky with her private and she stole all his shit.
They got
and
fucked up, right.
It's the world's fault that he has to hide. That's why.
Yeah,
so then this happens to him.
You guys should be accepting of me fucking in public so that this doesn't happen to me.
I mean, it'll be a spectacle. People will want to watch. Trust me. I mean, just out of morbid curiosity, if nothing else.
Wait till you see this thing. I watched Leon Spinks fucking is not the story.
It'll draw a crowd, really.
Yeah.
You could charge admission for that. We could do it in the park. It could be good for everybody. Maybe we'll do it free. It'll be inspirational for all, I think. It'll be good.
I'll draw more than when I fought Muhammad Ali.
I really would with this fucking hog I got. So the Leon Spinks here, his next fight versus Larry goddamn Holmes.
Yeah.
He's a great boxer, Larry Holmes. He's
gonna kill
also
you.
the WBC World Heavyweight Champion. Yeah. He's late to the fight.
Wait, who is?
Leon, not Larry. Larry's a good fight. He's a fucking champion. Leon's late to the fight, man. He's fucking late to the fight. He's late arriving, and then he forgot his robe. So he had to send somebody back to the hotel to get his fucking robe, too. So they had to delay it all. And Howard Cosell said, quote, "We were supposed to open the show with a live shot of Leon in his dressing room, but he's not there." Can you imagine that? He's late for a fight.
There's no way to do the opening shot of the fight.
No. You've all seen boxing coverage. They go to the locker room. You never see it just empty, like we're still waiting for him. If it's on the air, he should be there. So Joe Louis Arena, this is at in Detroit, because he's living in Detroit now. So he lives there. It's not even like he could get lost on the way. Wow. Larry Holmes, 37-0 coming in, by the way, and
is that right?
6'5" and
Jesus.
Skilled, and Ali's former sparring partner. He's a bad motherfucker. So this fight goes 3 rounds when Leon is TKO'd here by Larry Holmes. He's just so much bigger and stronger. Larry's going 250, 260, man. He's fucking huge just to lean on. Leon's like 205, you know what I mean? Yeah. He's so small. 10-3-2 now for Leon. And he slipped in the first round and then was knocked down in the second. And this is the problem, this fight. Everybody says this is the fight that really started the brain damage ball really rolling faster down the hill. I guess, he's knocked down in the second and knocked down in the third. Or he didn't go down in the third. Larry just kept beating on him before the ref fucking called it. And I guess he was just he's teeing off on him. Right. And Larry Holmes, even Michael Spinks, his brother, said that, quote, Larry Holmes said, quote, "I don't want to have to hurt or kill somebody to prove myself. They should have stopped the fight." Yeah. And Michael Spinks, his brother, said, "What was the referee waiting for? Leon was hurt. It could only get worse." Like, he's not going to fucking come around after he's taken 10 unanswered shots to the face. Not going to just pull out of that shit. So,
I should stop this myself.
Yeah. He wouldn't meet with reporters afterwards. He was despondent about the whole thing. One reporter said, quote, "He is a whipped man, is dead both physically and mentally just now." Jesus, that seems a little much. So it wasn't very good. The one guy, a writer, said, quote, "I tried to count the punches, but it was impossible. There were too many of them." Larry just teed off on this motherfucker, man. Not cool. So that was, June 12th. A week later, June 19th, 1981, he's arrested again. So
for what?
Let's see. He was behind the wheel of his 1980 Cadillac when officers spotted him in northwest Detroit. He's a few miles from home, driving with an expired license plate. They pulled him over. As he reached into the glove box for the registration, police spotted a .357 in his fucking glove compartment. .357 Magnum. The sergeant said he wasn't even aware the gun was in the car. You're aware everywhere a .357 is. That thing's a cannon.
Wherever you put that, you should never forget that.
You know where the fuck that thing is. He said he's still shocked by the arrest. He said that at this particular time he's trying to get his life back together. Well, I guess so. Gun is not registered to Spinks. They said the car he was driving belongs to a corporation that he owns, so he's got that. They said he just stood mute. He's freed on $1,000 bail. He wouldn't say anything. Maximum 5-year prison term for this shit. Also arrested for an unpaid parking ticket because, obviously, he had that hanging over him, too.
Sure.
So what's he up to right now? Hanging out? Just chilling. He talks about how his dad used to beat the shit out of his mom, and he talks about how the suspended from a nail. He talks about some of this now. Then he says, this is an article that talks about him. Quote, "Instead, his current companion is a man known as, quote, Mr. T. He wears one giant gold earring, and his hair is cut into the shape of a large arrow. His contribution seems to be wolfing down double roast beef sandwiches and strawberry shakes, and charge that to Mr. Spinks' room, please.
It's not the Mr. T?
It's the Mr. T. That's how he starts. He was like a bouncer in like one like tough man type deal contest and shit like that. Leon takes him on as one of his entourage, one of his bodyguards. It's always with him. And then from there, Leon says that we'll talk about it, but Leon says they wanted like Spinks to do some like TV shit, and he said, use this guy instead. I don't want to fucking do it. So they'd have Mr. T did it. That's how his fucking career started. That's what Leon said. That's how Mr. T got into the mainstream, he was Leon Spinks' guy.
How about that?
That's fucking crazy. You never thought you'd get the origin of Mr. T today, did you? Probably not.
I don't think I remember his haircut in an arrow. I remember the mohawk, obviously. But
maybe
the mohawk,
that's what they mean.
The arrow must have been low when it was low, you know what I mean? Before the mohawk got tall.
Who the fuck knows? I mean, this is pre on TV, too, so he might have been doing different shit.
Cut this into an arrow, James.
You can do it. Why not? Yeah, you're shaving it anyway. Just do like an arrow, like one puffy arrow.
I'll leave a stubble arrow right in the fucking... I'm doing it.
No, you should. Why not?
Cool as shit, right?
No, it'll look terrible, but it'll be hilarious. I love it. So... At this point, his favorite drink is Crown Royal. Loves that. He and a friend would drink 3 or 4 fifths in a day.
Okay.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot. He said that's what he's been doing. He says, quote, he's talking about recently. Now he's older and wiser, but
sure.
2 years ago, he said, I was a young man who wanted to party. Now I'm obviously mature. Yeah. He says, when I was growing up, I was a poor boy. When I was poor, I couldn't party because I didn't have no money. But when I was a celebrity, I got some money, so I partied. Well, yeah. A squared plus B squared equals C squared, my friend.
That's what it is.
He said, I wanted to enjoy life. Being poor, you don't know how it is. You don't know how it is to have some money. You don't know how it is. And when you have it, you don't know how to act. Yeah, I can see that. He says he tried drugs, but he didn't do drugs while he's been boxing at all. Never. He said, I'll tell it like it is. I did try cocaine. I tried it in the service, but I didn't like it, and I got away from it. Okay. I smoked marijuana. I did pills. I tried speed in the service. I've seen how it affects other guys. It wasn't good for me. I never did crack. I never used a needle. I saw other guys do that, and it ruined their whole life. Oh, I partied with booze and smoked a little pot, but I never loved it. Mr. T was my bodyguard. I got him started in the movies. They wanted me for those roles.
That was wild.
That was a crazy fucking man. His shit's all over the place.
We almost had Leon Spinks as on A-Team.
No. You definitely would have, because he can't speak. You'd see him, but then when he gets on there, you'd go, "What was that? He can't advance the plot. We can't understand him." I'm not kidding you, man. It's so hard to understand him. His words are so slurred. He sounds worse than Evander Holyfield does now.
Wow.
He sounds
Mr.
way
T
worse
sound
than
intelligible.
Oh, by far. Jesus. Yeah. Because Leon's talks at like a half speed, because he's like, it's because of the dementia. And then Mr. T talks at double speed. So together, that's a really weird combination. He fights February 24th, 1982 is his next fight at the Playboy Hotel and Casino in Atlantic City. He fights Poison Ivy Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah. 26-12 coming in. This goes all 10 rounds, but he wins a unanimous decision, does Leon. Okay. So he's 11-3-2. June 1982, he's sued by a woman in Detroit. He's being sued for $500,000.
For what?
In a case in which his car collided with a taxi on a suburban Detroit street. Her name is Doris Jones Rosemond. She says that she was injured when the cab she was riding in backed onto a Highland Park street and was struck by Spinks' 1980 Cadillac.
Probably well-deserved.
Yeah, you probably deserve that money. It's said that Spinks was traveling at a high rate of speed and drunkenly. Also in the suit here. The suit also named the cab driver and the taxi company as defendants. Suit also claims that Spinks verbally abused the woman after the accident by accusing her of malingering while she lay on the ground with neck, collarbone, and rib injuries.
You faking ass bitch.
Get up, you old bitch. I didn't hit you that fucking hard. You're faking ass up off the goddamn cog. No one's buying this bullshit. You buying this shit? There's ambulance people rushing in. Don't help her. She's faking. Come on, man. Oh my God. Yeah, that's
no
fucking
way you
amazing.
hurt.
You're not hurt. So July 1982. Remember when he got robbed and his teeth by the woman, and his teeth were under the bed? He still hasn't claimed his teeth yet.
They're still at the police department?
Yeah, quote, Detroit police who've been waiting for months for former heavyweight boxing champion Leon Spinks to claim his teeth now say they have his diamond watch as well. The watch with the boxer's name on the back was found among other jewelry confiscated in a drug raid on July 16th. So that's where it went.
Shit.
2 years ago, he told the police he was jumped and knocked unconscious and awoke naked in a motel room where he discovered his money and a $45,000 fur coat, jewelry, false teeth had been stolen. So they claimed the teeth, and there you go. So he's never claimed them. They have his watch and his teeth. October 14th, 1982, he appears on Letterman, David Letterman.
Yeah.
He and Michael, both.
Together.
Yeah, they bring him out together. Leon's the main focus because he's the older guy and he's got more of the story. And it's really weird because the studio, there are claps and claps because Leon's a real personable guy and people want to hear from him. There's claps and claps. After that, you've never heard a more silent interview. You could hear fucking condensers going off in the background. That's how silent it is. Because Dave asks a question and Leon answers it very slowly and very, very hard to understand. So you can hear people leaning in their chairs trying to hear him. And you can see Dave. Cracking. You can see Dave like, am I getting everything out of him? And Leon goes on to say in this interview, I think this is what he said anyway. I listened to it, but I mean, Christ, I could have misunderstood it at this point.
Sure.
He said that there was being champion's a mixed blessing, and he couldn't just kind of go hide out like he wanted to when he was champion. He said everybody would find you. That's just the way it was. So it's a really strange appearance by both of them. It's really strange. October 14th, 1982, he loses a lawsuit for money that he's trying to sue for. The 6th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals rejects his appeal by his manager. Anyway, they're trying to get $25,000 out of Bob Arum, and it's not working. So he's got Ugats instead. Now, October 31st, 82, he's got a fight. He fights Jesse Burnett, who's 25-14-2. Damn.
Right.
This is for the vacant NBAF cruiserweight title. He's dropped down to cruiserweight.
Yeah.
Now, dropped out of the heavyweight division. This goes all 12 rounds. Unanimous decision for Leon. So he wins. He's sort of a champion again. Kind of. It's like an off-brand fucking cruiserweight title. So it's, if you trained a lot, you'd have a shot at it. Put it that way.
He won
it's
the
not
Kirkland belt.
Yeah, it's not exactly. It is. It's the fucking Kroger brand belt. That's what's going on. So 12-3-2 for him at this point. January 6th, 83. So this is a couple months later. He's in the car with his brother Michael when his brother Michael gets pulled over but doesn't pull over. He takes police on a 25-block high-speed car chase.
No, Mike.
Not good. And they find a pistol in the car that turns out that it is stolen in Canada 8 years ago.
Oh.
So he's got a stolen gun, stolen in Toronto in 1975. So they contact the Canadian authorities. Michael Spinks said the weapon was given to him as a keepsake during his visit to Montreal when he won the gold medal. So that's that.
Somebody gave you a stolen gun?
Yeah. They gave him a fucking stolen gun. Another one of the brothers was in the car. They weren't arrested. Only Michael was arrested. Spinks asked the reporters, quote, treat me as fair as possible. He said he has fired the gun before. It's a .45. He fired it on New Year's Day in an open field. He said he was, quote, celebrating making it to the new year, then forgot he had the weapon in his car. He said, I don't carry guns. No weapons at all.
I take it back. Sir, you've been carrying that for a year. You always carry a gun.
That's your gun that you carry around. Yeah. Also, Leon is avoiding service here. There's now a $1 million lawsuit concerning the auto accident. It's now $1 million lawsuit against him.
Double.
And Process server has been trying since June to serve Spinks and has been unsuccessful. 8 unsuccessful attempts. They're unable to locate Spinks, even though he's visited the gym, his home, everywhere else. The lawyer said Spinks does a good job of bobbing and weaving outside of the ring.
Oh, okay.
Not in the ring, or he'd have a better record, but
yeah.
Let's see here. The lawyer says, we're asking for $1 million in damages for personal injuries, loss of work, pain, and suffering. What I'd like to see is Leon off the road. He doesn't even have a valid license, and he's still driving around. So, let's let Leon sum this up. What do you say we give him in their own words? I'd like to hear what the fuck Leon has to say about this. In their own words, quote, it might have looked to people like I was having a good time, but deep down I wasn't, because I wasn't who I wanted to be. I never had anything when I was young. We were poor. Now I had so much. I tried to enjoy it. Having money like that makes you feel like you can do anything you want, but you can't.
But
no shit.
You can't.
But you can't. So he is fucking being stalked by process servers. Knocks on the door are scary for him. Stalked by process servers, got legal things hanging over his head. His career's in fucking shambles. It's a disaster. He needs something. He needs a spark, a catalyst, something here. And then finally, one day, he goes out the door, and there's someone on the steps, and he goes, oh, no, it's the process server. But it's not the process server, because process servers don't bring over big trays of fucking baked ziti. Instead, it's Vinny Pazienza's ma. She's got some words for him, and she says, how is it you come to arrive here? What's wrong? Leon, what's wrong with you? Oh, my God, Leon, you had nothing. You came from everything. You're so nice to your mother, and I love that you're nice to your mother and that old lady, and you help her. I heard you helped a crippled kid the other day. That's very, very nice. That's wonderful. But you're ruining yourself. Drugs, alcohol, have some ziti. Eat something. What is wrong with you? My God, look at this. Oh, my God. It's filled. Have you cleaned under your couch lately, Leon? I'm looking under here. I found there's Cheerios. I think that's like a beer nut or something. I don't know what the hell's under there. I see a
You're going to drop
bottle.
another weight class.
Oh,
Eat
my
something.
God. Oh, I went in the bedroom. There's a naked woman in there. Her vagina's as wide. It's as wide as a 2-lane highway. What did you do to that poor girl? Oh, my God, Leon. Jesus, this is unbelievable. You could beat up Muhammad Ali, but you can't have problems with this. Oh, my God, Leon, please sit down and eat something. I'm going crazy. I can't take it anymore. Poof. And she explodes into a cloud of baked ziti and stress.
Support.
And support and love. And Leon is very confused by this. He's like, wow, my mom's the same. My mom would have just said, Jesus will figure it out. She's taking us over. So March 1983, Harrah's Hotel Casino, Atlantic City. He fights Carlos Sugar De Leon, who's 33-3-0 coming in. And this is going to be a loss for Leon in the sixth round, 12-4-2. December 1984, his Nova, his former wife and owner of one of the sets of his teeth, former wife, current teeth owner, she apparently is robbed. She's pregnant at this point, and robbed. 2 masked men rob her of $4,000 mink coat on Christmas morning. Jesus Christ.
It's a fuck day to do that.
That's fucked up. She said, I had just left my car and was walking toward my sister's house when these 2 men, both wearing ski masks, came up and demanded my coat. I had been having birth contractions. She's fucking pregnant. They robbed a pregnant woman of her coat on Christmas Day.
About to start labor pregnant.
I think that's the scummiest, one of the, outside of like child molestation, obviously, because that's going to be a special category all to itself. I think robbing a pregnant woman of her coat on Christmas morning when it's fucking cold, by the way.
Right, when you need it.
Might be the scummiest thing I've ever heard in my fucking life before. Jesus Christ.
Dirtbags.
She said, that's why I was going to my sister's place. One of them said, give up that coat. I just unzipped the zipper and they grabbed it off my shoulders and ran off. I didn't want to risk my baby. The baby's due February 3rd, but I've been having premature birth pains and have been taking medication for them. Then they, whatever. Then they go out and they give her address in the article.
What? They doxed her?
Spinks of 50. No, that used to be anybody who was quoted in the paper. They would have to show you're a real person. They would show your address. Otherwise, so you'd know the reporter didn't make you up. Right. That way, the average person could look you up in the phone book and go, okay, there you go.
Know.
So, now I love that. Before that would be that. Now that's considered doxing. That's fucking. That's funny.
Responsible journalism before.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. Obviously, it's in a different spirit, but you know what I'm saying. So they said, they gave her address. They gave her sister's address.
Yeah,
it's fucking crazy. She
her
said,
family too.
Oh yeah, where she was. Yeah, the one man was 6 feet tall, the other was shorter. She said, "quote They were both black men, one lighter and one darker. I could see that through the eye holes in the ski masks." So her sister called the police. She said, I couldn't run away from them in my condition, but I didn't want to go to the hospital because the contractions weren't that close. So I came back to the house and stayed in bed, and eventually the pains went away. So, yeah, apparently this was a gift from Leon in 1980. I think it was him. I think it was. How many teeth did that's why they had a ski mask on, so they couldn't see his teeth. How many teeth did your assailant have? So, I tell you what, then he's going to offer to trade the coat for his teeth. That's how it's going to work. We're going to make a trade. February 1985, he's making a comeback, he said. He's returning to boxing because he's different now. It's all good. A couple years have gone by. That was, a couple years ago. That was 80, whatever. So he hasn't boxed in a while. He's making a comeback. He's going to fight. He had to postpone a fight with Donovan Razor Ruddock because he had an infected tooth, which is crazy. He said,
last one.
It's my last one. I've had enough time to take a vacation, enough time to get my head together and think about what I really want to do, where I wanted to go, and where I wanted my life to go. I wanted to correct all the mistakes I made coming to where I am right now. I turned to God. There's another rule, bro. Uh-oh. He's breaking all the rules. He's hanging out at home at White Castle. It's a mess. He helped me a lot. I can't do nothing else now but improve. Try not to let it happen again. I'm going to try to come out like a brand new person now, like he washed me over with bleach. All the dirt gone.
Bleach?
With bleach.
God, Jesus.
That's going to hurt.
He's going to burn me.
I really love that summary. All the dirt gone.
All the dirt.
Gone. All the dirt gone. So...
Is that what we change it to instead of
all the dirt gone? That's what I mean. I gotta write that down and decide later. All the dirt gone. That's a great title too, man. He said one thing that he said that a friend of his says here, his lawyer said, quote, one thing about Leon, all the things he's done, none of these things hurt anybody but himself. He wasn't out robbing banks and holding up liquor stores. He wasted a lot of his own money and did things to his own physical condition. He's a different person now than he was a year and a half, 2 years ago. He's no longer the wild Leon that you saw in bars and discos chasing everything that moved. It's good now, is what that says.
All the dirt
Very
gone.
good. All dirt gone. All the dirt gone. So Cobo Arena, another big wrestling place back in the day, February 21st, 1985, he is fighting Lupe Macho Guerrera.
Hell yeah.
So 21-14-1 coming in. This is a TKO win for Leon. Knocks him down a whole bunch of times. 13-4-2. So he's doing well. They're talking about, now it's all sorts of fluff pieces on Leon. They're saying he's even got a driver's license now.
All right.
He's doing great. He said, I finally got good people behind me and I've got God on my side. Everything I do now is for him. Capital H him, that is here. Not like he's not pointing to like his son or anything.
Right.
My goal now is to try to make it back so I can correct all the mistakes I made. He said, the problem is you get out there in the fast lane and you forget God. He said, I started living a wild life, women, drugs, all that stuff. I did a lot of things wrong. It's like I had no responsibility at all. But see what happened? God put me on my back. He made me think about him again. He got, Jesus, is that his solution? Really?
Punches you a bunch?
It sounds like an ex that's like going to fuck your life up because you're happy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like Bates's wife on Downton Abbey did that shit to him. Like, that's fucked up, man, putting him up for murder. So he said, wow, that's a dick move. He made me think about him again. He got me there when I was on top, and the only way to get back was to follow his word. And I know I'm here for a reason, and that reason is to serve God, to help kids and old people, and to spread his word.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that is the biggest I'm good now I've ever heard in my life.
Jesus is into edging.
Wow, yeah, big time. Docking, edging, soaking. He's into a little all of it. He's a little column A, a little column B.
Gotta get you right to the edge, though, James, and then stop.
Yeah, obviously. Jesus, what are we talking about here? We know what he's about. He said, I can show people where I was and that I've come back because God has blessed me. I want to lead a different life. You know, I've got 3 boys, and I want to make a life for them. I want my kids to be proud of me. And he says, I was trying to find myself. I was by myself a lot. I started going to church, and I realized that I had more to do for him. He was given, but I was giving it back. But I wasn't giving it back. After everything I went through, he could have left me with nothing, but I still got my health, not quite. My talent, that's on the wane.
Yeah.
My commentary. 2 teeth. I've got to serve him because I've got so many things to be thankful for. Yeah, he said he's got heart and he's going to stick with it. This is when his brother Michael defeats Larry Holmes in an upset and becomes one of the other champions that ends up unifying it with Mike Tyson there in that fight there. So that's how that works. In April of '85, he's in Honolulu and he fights Rick King Kong Keller, who is 15-9-1, and Leon beats him in 3 rounds with a TKO. Next up, the Cobo Arena in Detroit, he fights Tom Roughhouse Fisher.
Yeah.
These guys all sound like they're from Rocky, you know what I mean? Like Spider Rico's a bum. That's what this sounds like to me. 35-9, this guy is. Unanimous decision win for Leon. The Sonoma County Fairgrounds in June of '85. He beats Tommy. This guy's name is Tommy Thomas.
No.
He beats Tommy Thomas.
He beat Thomas.
He learned how to fight because everyone made fun of him when he was a kid because his parents only could think of one fucking name. That's what it was. Your mom's so stupid, and then he knew that's when he had to throw down.
Yeah.
He beats him, unanimous decision. Then he's at the Felt Forum in New York, MSG's auxiliary place there, fighting Kip Kane, who's 15-1-1. Leon beats him by TKO in 8 rounds. He's now 17-4-2. So, yeah, he got a few wins. He also, sometime around here, ends up in Japan, in New Japan Pro Wrestling, fighting Antonio Inoki, who's the owner of New Japan Pro Wrestling at the time. This is what a lot of wrestlers did this. Anybody or a lot of boxers would do this. Inoki would hire you to come over there, and he'd beat you in Japan and make him look even better, and that's how it works.
Right.
So he had the big fight with Ali in the 70s. That was a famous thing. It was a pay-per-view. So he loses by submission to Inoki, obviously. In 86, he fights, this is for the WBA Cruiserweight title. He's got a real title fight again against Dwight Muhammad Kawi, Kawhi. He turned into, what the fuck did he turn into? He changed his name. God damn it. Oh, it's driving me nuts now. All right, I'll find it. The Camden Buzzsaw. He wins, Leon loses this fight. TKO'd in the 6th round. So, not up to that snuff here. 17-5-2. And he is. There's an article about Happy the Clown.
What?
Some guy named Happy the Clown who says he was late to the Petaluma Circus that he was a part of because he had to go meet Leon Spinks, who was doing some fucking meet and greet in the area.
No.
That's how important it is.
They weren't looking for teeth in a trash can behind a burger joint?
That's why I had to bring that up, because there was teeth and a clown, and I'm like, this is too close to Lenny Dykstra. I have to bring this up. If there's a Jersey Mike's anywhere in this fucking... If there's a dumpster, if there's a Jersey Mike's, if there's anything...
It's unbelievable.
It's important. So, August 86, Detroit Port Authority. What, like right in front of the buses?
I guess.
Right in the bus lane.
Yeah.
There's going to be a round, then we're going to let 5 buses take off, then we're going to have round 2. Let some more buses go. Versus Rocky Sirkowski. Oh boy, 17-5 he is. Leon wins by TKO. He's 17-6-2. January of 87, Exhibition Center in Coconut Grove. He loses to Jose El Nino Ribalta.
Oh, there's so many of them.
He's a whole storm, this guy.
Yeah.
Loses in the first round. He's knocked down 3 times in the first round, Leon is. 17-7-2.
Unbelievable how few wins he has, and his name is such a big deal.
It's such a big because he beat fucking Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
He is in Japan on in April of 87, fighting Jeff the Blonde Bomber Jordan, who's 17-6. This is a split decision, and he wins it. Mm-hmm. So this is for the WBC Continental Americas heavyweight title.
Awesome.
So garbage title. That's what that is. Then he promptly loses it the next month to Angelo Musoni, who's 18-0 coming in. Leon is knocked out in the 7th round, making him 18-8-2. Next up, he's at some fairgrounds in Eugene, Washington, the Lane County Fairgrounds in Eugene, Oregon. I'm sorry. He fights Jim Ashard, who it looks like Asshard if you look at it real quick. It's Asshard is how it's spelled. 6-5 coming in.
Uh-huh.
This guy's 6-5-2 coming in, and he fights at the Eugene Fairgrounds. This fight goes all 10 rounds, and it's a draw.
God damn it.
18-8-3. Next, he's at a place called Swingos in Cleveland, which sounds like a strip club.
Fuck yeah.
Now he's gone from arenas to casinos, fairgrounds, strip clubs. That's the drop.
Swinger clubs. It sounds like there's fucking happening.
Swingos, yeah. This goes all 10 rounds versus Terry Mims. By the way, Terry Mims is 13-15 coming into this fight.
Mm-hmm.
Goes all 10 rounds, and Leon loses the decision.
Oh, no.
18-9. Next up, he fights Ladisalo Minjangos. Wow, Minjangos. He's 19-6 coming in. Goes all 10. Leon loses a split decision.
Oh, no.
He's now 18-10-3. Next up, he fights Randall Tex Cobb, who you might know from the fucking Raising Arizona, the guy on the motorcycle. Yeah. There you go. And many other movies.
Yeah.
Many other movies. He's the best, though, and fucking that was just iconic, that Raising Arizona.
I love him in Ace
character.
Ventura. And
he's great. He's great in everything.
He makes a cameo in Liar Liar at the very beginning.
He's terrific.
It's so good.
He's so
awesome.
good. He's 32-7-1 coming in. This fight goes all the way, 10 rounds, and Tex Cobb wins a decision and Leon loses. 18-11-3 for Leon.
I want to be that guy's friend. I want him to know us.
Tex Cobb? Yeah, he's cool as fuck. Is he alive?
He is.
Oh, he is. Cool. Yeah, he's cool as shit. We don't want to do an episode about him. We could do like a bonus about how cool he is.
I want to hang out with
pretty
him.
Cool.
I guarantee he's rad. I'll bet you he is what Rod would have turned into. Just a cool,
maybe, yeah,
with great stories.
Grown a big beard, yeah.
I'll bet he's got amazing stories.
So, I mean, he is now 18-11-3. This is pathetic at this point. It's not looking good. He's got brain damage. He's a fucking mess. He's broke. He's got lawsuits. You almost feel fucking bad for this guy because he hasn't hurt anybody else. I mean, I feel bad for him, Jimmie, but not nearly as bad as I feel for Leon Spinks, Chief Executive Officer at Silverdale School in Sheffield, UK. Oh, my. Leon Spinks, owner at STA. I don't know what that is, but it's in Oxford. So apparently Leon Spinks is a popular name for English people.
Yeah.
Leon Spinks Dirt Haul, it just says. I don't know what that means. They haul dirt in Houston, Texas. There.
Right.
And finally, Leon Spinks, owner at Fresh Start Energies in California. This is like a fucking Silicon Valley startup, like about energy. It's definitely not our guy. So there you go. April 24th, 1988, arrested for DUI. DWI.
Damn it.
He's arrested in Auburn Hills, Michigan. Driving with a suspended license, having an open intoxicant in the car, and not wearing a seatbelt.
Wow.
So he just pleads to impaired driving, and he ends up getting probation because the judge said he was, quote, quite impressed with Spinks' probation report. Not bad.
Ability to drive under the influence.
Absolutely. Not bad. You didn't even knock a fence down. Pretty good.
Didn't kill anybody.
May of 88, he fights again.
Oh, my God.
Tony Morrison, not Tommy Morrison. 15-6-1. He gets knocked out in the first round. here. TKO, first round, 18-12-3. It's not good. 89, he's trying to connect with his sons. Okay, Leon the third starts fighting. He's 2-0.
Really?
There's articles about him that he's got good pop in his punches and he could be following in his dad's footsteps and all this shit. He apparently, last time he tried to, he invited 3 of his sons to spend time with him in Detroit, and it didn't end well at all. I guess his son, Leon III, asked him for money, and he said no. And so his son asked for money from Leon's girlfriend at the time. Do you have any money? And then Leon got physical with his son, and it all went fucking haywire from there. So at least he didn't hang him from a nail and beat him with a cord, but, still.
I like that Leon 3 asked for money. That's so ballsy.
How about you give me money, Pops? Fuck it. You haven't been around. Why not?
You want to be my dad? Got $20?
That's it. Fucking fill my tank. So they said he lives in like a kind of a crappy house now that needs some screens are torn. It needs some painting. He's got a shitty old car in the driveway.
Oh, no.
He's unemployed. He drops by a gym to train fighters and stuff like that. His girlfriend Betty, who's his future wife, works at a hospital. Yeah. He's got a bar here that wants him to hire him as a part-time bartender, greeter type guy. But
holy shit!
Instead, he takes a job at Jovan's, which is a bar in Birmingham, Michigan. And he said, "For the first time in my life, I'm happy."
This is
what?
Happy?
It's the opposite. I got a beautiful wife because he's just about to get married. My manager cares about me. I talk to him and I don't feel like I'm talking to the wall. Michael and me might get into the restaurant business someday. Michael's got his millions now. I made mine and he made his the way I look at it. I probably trusted too many people along the way, but that's over with. I'm happy. So,
holy shit.
He hangs Jovan's, by the way. He's a greeter bartender, and Denny McClain plays piano there. Remember that Denny McClain got a job playing piano in a bar?
Yeah.
He's hanging it with Michael Spinks Leon Spinks at the same time here, which is pretty fucking funny. Both criminals like crazy. July 8th, 1989, article here, Times hard for ex-champ Leon Spinks.
Yeah.
Not good. They're talking about he's in a WWA match, which is a shitty Indiana promotion that I thought went out of business in like 1986. Dick the Bruiser owned it and ran it. And at last that I heard in like 87, they were running like, in a nightclub for 100 people and stuff. It wasn't going well. So apparently it came back a little bit and he's losing to people here. They're making him lose is what it is. Michigan State Boxing Commissioner Dr. Stuart Kirschenbaum said, quote, Leon needs to understand the party is over. The day has come for Leon to find a job, get up in the morning, and go to work like everyone else. Wow. Leon says, I'm trying to better myself. He's only 35, too. That's the crazy part.
This is crazy.
He begins work as a greeter at Ditka's in downtown Chicago.
Mike's Restaurant?
Yep, Mike's Restaurant. Sources say he's making $50,000 a year doing that. Mm-hmm. And he signed some autographs. He also completed a year-long restaurant management course in Detroit. So, he said he's professionally qualified to greet guests, seat them, mix drinks, serve food, and do whatever they need me to do at that particular moment.
I'm going to work my way up the Ditka's corporate ladder.
Gonna fucking do it. Oh, by the way, Leon Spinks III has a son, Jimmy.
Oh, no.
Leon the Fourth is born. 4 Pete is here. Wow.
That is fascinating.
Fucking wow. 3 on and 4 top we got here. This is crazy.
That is unbelievable.
Yeah, that's crazy. Names him after that. July 4.
You see George Foreman do it and going, he's successful. I guess it's a quirky, weird thing.
This is generational.
This is generational failure. This
is 3 separate people chose to name their sons Leon Spinks. Actually 4, because the father had to be named too. So that's a lot. Now, his son, July 21st, 1990, he's at a party. I'm sorry, in 88, his son Leon III was shot in the abdomen at a party, but he was okay. It didn't hit any organs, and that's when he started boxing like 6 months later, so he was fine and doing well. On July 21st, 1990, though, He had a late afternoon workout at the gym, and then he went to a party around midnight and returned home. He went to see his girlfriend. He stopped by home and then went out to see his girlfriend. His brother saw him and said that he was on the way to the nightclub. And his brother said that he had a fight coming up July 30th. And he said, hey, you need to get your rest. But his brother told him, quote, I ain't going to stay out long. And he went out. Apparently at closing time, everybody left. And he got into his car with a woman friend of his who started driving, and shots rang out. And Leon was hit. And so he was driven to the hospital here. And they said, quote, there was 2 other cars with friends of Leon that were being shot at. Gunfire was ringing as they were going across the bridge. They forced the car Leon was in to the side of the road. The girl driving, she jumped out and ran, and the person in the other car went to shooting.
Oh, my God.
A few days after the shooting, they said that actually the police, after they put everything together, said that's exactly what happened, what the witnesses said. So Calvin is killed that night, or young Leon Calvin. Leon III is killed that night.
Oh my
Shot
God.
to death. He never recovers, never regains consciousness.
Threon's dead.
Threon's dead. Threon was killed. Leon said, I loved him. I'm glad I got to spend some time with him. It's too bad it got cut short, though. Jesus Christ, I guess so. They said he just signed a promotional contract with Cedric Kushner Promotions, which is a big boxing firm in New York. Like he was on his way. They said they had guaranteed him a certain number of fights, and as he got better, the purses were going to become phenomenal. Yeah. So quickly, 91, he beats Lupe Macho Guerra again. That's not a big challenge. 19-2-3 or 19-12-3. 92, he's arrested again. Fucking again, charged with driving under the influence after being involved in a 3-car collision. Fuck. He was eastbound.
Oh, God, Jesus. He's in such dire straits, but Mr. T should take care of him.
Mr. T's doing, well, at this point, Mr. T needs help, too. It's 92.
Yeah.
There's a time in the 80s where Mr. T should have really taken care of him. So apparently he rear-ended a pickup truck in front of him there. Obviously, you can't rear-end a car behind you.
Right.
So in that vehicle, that truck that he rear-ended hit a vehicle that was making a left turn in front of it. Yeah. So it was a chain reaction. He was cut on the forehead, Leon was, and the police said he had bloodshot eyes and a strong odor of alcohol was detected on his breath. He's taken to the medical center there. He underwent blood and urine tests, and there you go. He's drunk. So there's that. February 92, he fights Andre Crowder, who's 6-17-2. He beats him in a split decision that goes all 10 rounds, Leon does. So finally gets his 20th win. Next up, he's at the Clarion Hotel Ballroom in St. Louis in 92, fighting a guy with a under 500 record. He beats him in a unanimous decision in 10 rounds.
Yeah.
May 30th, 92, he's in court. He gets, you, sir, may fuck off, 2 years probation for drunk driving.
Yeah.
So there's that. More boxing. June of 92, he wins a split decision against Ken Bentley. Then knocks a guy named Jack Jackson out in July of 92. Then he gets a guy named Kevin P. Porter, who's 13-8-2, and he loses a unanimous decision to this guy. Leon does. So next up, he finds a guy named Kevin Poindexter.
Hell yeah.
Who's 2-11-1. He's like, I'm going to whoop this nerd's ass. He knocks him out in the first round.
This fight brought to you by bullying.
By bullying, finally. Next up, though, he fights James Wilder, who's 2-34-1. 2-34-1. This fight goes all 10 rounds, and Leon loses a fucking unanimous decision to a guy who has won 2 out of 37 fights. I don't know what to say about that. 94 now. So skip some time. A year and a half goes by. He fights Eddie Curry, the Knicks center from back in the day, I guess. He's 11-18-2. He's just too tall. He can't quite put it all together.
Yeah.
He wins this by disqualification. It was scheduled as an 8-rounder, but Curry thought it was an 8-rounder. So after the 8th round, he left and was disqualified because he didn't come out for the 9th round. That's amazing. Next up.
How do you do 8 rounds and then be like, oh, they're not giving anybody. I'm just going to leave then.
I'm just going to leave. I'll get the decision in the dressing room. That's the weirdest thing I've ever heard. He fights a guy named Shane Kid Thunder Sutcliffe. Maybe it's Rick's kid. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's 10-2. Loses a unanimous decision to King Kid Thunder here. Next up, the Convention Center. He fights in Washington. He fights Johnny Bones, is his nickname, John Carlo. He loses. This is his first fight, by the way, John Carlo. The promoter lied. He fabricated a record so the commission would let this fight happen, and then this fucking guy knocks Leon out in the first round.
Shit.
First round, Jimmy. Wow. 25-16-3 Leon is. 95. The fight is at a place called A Little Bit of Texas in St. Louis. He fights Ray Kipling, who's 1-2-1, and beats him.
Strip mall barbecue joint.
It really sounds like a strip mall barbecue joint, where like it's barely. They have to lower the ring because otherwise it would hit the ceiling. The guys' heads would like get knocked into ceiling fans and shit.
On the wood rafters.
Jesus. Next fight is also at the Little Bit of Texas, and in December 95, he fights Fred Haupt, who's 13-3 and loses a unanimous decision in 8 rounds. That doesn't sound like much, right? I mean, loses a unanimous decision in 8 rounds. So what, right?
Yeah.
Problem is, this guy hasn't boxed in 17 years.
Well,
17 years. He took 17 years off, came back, and beat Leon Spinks.
I'm going to give it one more go.
17. Leon's 26, 17-3, and he finally retires.
Good. Thank God it's done.
He retires. Some point in here, he works for FMA, which is a wrestling place in Japan there, where he wins a title, and he also is headlining autograph tours.
Yeah.
He is the brass knuckles champion over there as well. So Corey Spinks is his son. He held the undisputed welterweight title, which is a big fucking deal, and was the IBF junior middleweight champion twice. His son, Corey. Leon says, I didn't push Corey. I wanted him to decide if he wanted to go into boxing, and he did. Can't blame it on me. He said, when I had a kid, I was a kid. I wasn't around. I was too busy trying to figure out where I was they said, is Corey helping you out financially? And he said, he's not helping me at all, but it's all right. I don't ask for nothing. So, yeah, he's apparently living in Columbus in 2005, and he is working at the YMCA for $5.15 an hour, which is minimum wage back then because I worked for it back then. So he also sometimes on weekends unloads trucks at McDonald's.
Oh, my God.
And he also volunteers to help the homeless, which he was for a while before he met Betty. He spent some time in an East St. Louis homeless shelter as well.
He's barely not right now.
It's not good, man. He said, sometimes it's good to get away from the city and get a little clean air. I love to teach kids how to box. There's nothing to do but get into trouble otherwise. He says he doesn't, it's fucking crazy. He says, quote, it ain't what you do, it's how you do it, as he's mopping. He says, you just do the best you can. He said, well, I'm still breathing, still making money. I'm happy about life, still trying. I ain't giving up on life. He's just got this, I guess they said that in order to get this job, he needed to pass a CPR class, and they were very happy that he did it. It's interesting, too, because the kids at the Y, the guy who runs it says, quote, when they found out he won the championship of the world by beating Muhammad Ali, they flipped out. Yeah. They've heard of him. They're like, you beat Muhammad Ali? Holy shit. He told them, don't do drugs, and everybody applauded. Well, that's good. So, yeah, he mops floors.
And then panders.
He panders. He takes pictures. Says, give it up for the troops. He says,
where my
kids
weed
come
smokers at?
Where my weed smokers at? Kids come up to me when they see me cleaning, and I tell them my opinion. The kids are thrilled to meet me, and their parents are thrilled too. He says he also likes his second job at McDonald's. He says, quote, I get 50% off on Big Macs and everything.
And everything.
And everything. Yeah.
50% off. Why are they charging their employees anything at all?
What
just
the fuck,
throw them
man? The food. So he ends up divorcing Betty. That's over with.
Yeah.
He ends up marrying a woman named Brenda.
Okay.
Brenda's very nice. Brenda said, I felt Leon had more potential than just to be put up in some creepy place to sit until he had some engagement to go to that someone would set something up for him. A couple summers ago, he was set up to stay in the back room of a stinky old gym. I went to stay with him, but I couldn't stand it. We slept on this dirty old floor and used a creepy bathroom with no light. He had stayed there for over a month already by the time I got there. So, it wasn't going well. He says about her, quote, she's my friend and my lover. I call her woman. He has good days and bad days, Brenda says. Oh, bad days. On bad days, he's quiet and hard to understand because of the missing teeth and complications from the early onset dementia that he's suffering from. Yeah. He's having a lot of problems. He says, they said, do you think your dementia is a result of getting hit in the head? He said, maybe. I got hit a lot. I'm glad I lived through it.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I just know that it hurts a lot.
Did you hear all those decision fights? That's a lot, man. He's at the bar as well. They said he hangs out at the bar on Friday night. He has a few 32-ounce $2 beers. A few people ask him for his autograph, that sort of thing. He said somebody stole the hat off his head a while back at the bar. He said, snatched it off my head. It said heavyweight champion of the world, Leon Spinks. It had like diamonds on it, but it wasn't real. The guy thought it was diamonds, so he snatched it off my head and ran out the back door. So then a newspaper ran an article about it, and the guy felt guilty and gave it back.
He's like, I'm a piece of shit.
Leon said, quote, he gave it back to me. He said he was sorry. He took it and gave me $20 and handed me a drink. He gave him restitution and everything, man. Wow. He said that he didn't make nearly as much money as everybody thinks he does. He said, that's bullshit. That's what people think. I was stupid and I gave the lawyers power of attorney. That's why I never saw a penny of the $3.75 million I should have made for the Ali fight. Wow. He said, if you want to be my friend, be my friend. If not, leave me alone. 2011, he marries Brenda. Good for him. 2012, he is diagnosed officially with shrinkage of his brain. Shrinkage, which doctors say is likely caused by accumulated punches he took during his career. Shrinkage. That doesn't sound good. Whether it's a brain or whether it's one part of him isn't shrinking though. That's the thing. His brain has shrinkage, but his cock, he's like, that's the one part I can afford shrinkage, doc. Yeah. I can go in a cold pool and still be a shower. You don't understand. Still swing it like a fucking pendulum.
You can only fill one head at a time with enough blood to keep it alive.
That's it. It can't accommodate its own girth. I love that. My favorite part. In 2011, he and Brenda moved to just outside Las Vegas.
Yeah.
So I don't know why, but they do that.
Dry air.
Dry air.
Yeah.
2014, he's hospitalized twice in Las Vegas due to for surgery for abdominal problems. One of them was from a chicken wing bone.
What?
Yes.
He swallowed the bone?
Absolutely. He says that his attorney says that Spinks is known to his friends as the, quote, chicken wing king. It's another one I got to write down. Chicken wing king. There's so many fucking titles. Wing king. He accidentally swallowed a bone. It got stuck in his intestine and punctured it.
Oh, my God.
Yes. So he's had 2 surgical procedures and had to have a 3rd scheduled for this, for a fucking chicken bone. It's crazy. He says he's doing better now, though. He said it's going to be a long road ahead, but he's strong and he's starting to recover. His good friend Tony Orlando, the singer, should give him some money, I think, Tony. Fork it over. He said, please pray for my friend Leon Spinks. He's facing the greatest fight of his life. Now there's a big discrepancy in 2014 over whether his ex-wife controls his medical decisions.
What?
Okay. His ex-wife says that he gave her full control over his medical decisions after they divorced in 2004. And if his condition deteriorates, she should be the one to call the shots, not his current wife.
No, that's not how that works.
Wow. Betty, who's his ex-wife, was married to him for 16 years, says Leon hammered out an agreement in their divorce stating that she had been empowered to make decisions on his behalf and should he become unable to do so himself. I would assume that'd be unless you get remarried.
Right. That's how it works.
That's crazy.
Until there's somebody else.
She said, I have power of attorney and guardianship. Leon's care should be my decision. And, he's married in 2011, but Betty says when it comes to power of attorney, that has to be transferred in a certain way. You can't just, doesn't just do that. She says she's legally entitled. Nevada law says Betty's power of attorney can be revoked if Leon entered a new agreement with his new wife. So all he has to do is that. Just marrying someone doesn't automatically vest that person with power of attorney. Mm-hmm. You have to enter into an official agreement with that. Yeah. Betty says, though, my main concern is that Lee is okay. If I could talk to him, I'd ask, how are you? Do you want to come back home to your family? Mm-hmm. Not with you. I'm remarried. What the fuck are you talking about? The lawyer says he's healing. He's on the road to recovery. I went to see him the other night, and when I walked in, he flashed a huge smile. He's in great spirits. They said he's up and walking, actually, too. August 2017, Leon and Michael are jointly inducted into the Boxing Hall of Fame.
Together,
yeah.
Amazing.
They're the only brother couple, and they were the only brother champions, too, both to be heavyweight champions until the Klitschko's did it.
Awesome.
So they were the only ones to do that. 2019, Leon is diagnosed with advanced prostate cancer.
Oh, no.
That's rough. December, he's hospitalized for it. And his wife says, dear friends, I know it's been a while. However, you know how I believe in the power of prayer. It's been a tough year for us. Leon has endured a lot of medical problems. I'm reaching out to ask you to kindly pray for my beautiful husband, Leon, so that he may overcome the obstacles that have crossed his path. He's in deep trouble here. They said that he was on a feeding tube and everything else.
Wow.
Yeah, not good. His wife says he's a champion. He's going to keep fighting. He underwent surgery, and then he underwent 3 rounds of chemotherapy, and they found out, though, the cancer spread to his bones at that point.
Yeah.
They said that he had about 2 weeks to live in late 2019, but he lasts more than 2 weeks. He hangs in there. He's taking medicine called Zytiga, medication for people who have prostate cancer and have already undergone chemo. The first bottle of 120 pills was a free sample, but after that, the doctor told her every 120 pills is $8,000.
It is.
Fucking grand. Yeah.
And it's gotten more expensive.
That's a couple years ago.
Yeah.
She said, I think you can get it cheaper. I don't know. I haven't gotten that far yet. Her son, his stepson, moves into the house to help take care of him and all this sort of shit. He spent a month with his sons. Corey came down and hung out with him, all this type of shit. He's got a black lab that he hangs out with. It was trained by America's vet dogs. Awesome. He qualifies for a service dog because he was, honorably discharged from the Marine Corps. Yeah. They said that the dog got very depressed when he was away in the hospital and stuff like that. He's often in a wheelchair now.
Shit.
He has a live-in nurse that takes care of him as well, or is there every day, all day. She said at one point his mood darkened during this interview, the reporter said, and Brenda, his wife, said, oh, no, he's turned on me. So she reached into a bag and handed him a joint.
I love it.
She said at one point she used to throw out marijuana that he used to get from fans, but about a year ago, she started allowing him to smoke weed. It's legal in Nevada, and the doctor said it's good for him. If it makes him feel better, who gives a shit? It makes him eat and stuff with the chemo. She said he usually smokes about a joint a day. She said, I'm so against it, and now I'm going to dispensaries to buy it. It's the only way I can get him to cooperate.
She's in there going, let me get some of that sour diesel.
Yeah, it'll make Leon happy. After a few puffs, Leon allows the nurse to begin the exam. He's like, all right, I'm cool now. So they said after that he does everything. He seems to be doing a little bit better. He's supposed to be dead months and months ago. He's still going on. Yeah. But he suffered from, in the last few months, aspiration pneumonia, a staph infection, sepsis, inflammation of the colon, showed early signs of renal failure. bad shit, man. He had to have a feeding tube inserted into his abdomen because he stopped eating. They're trying to get him to sign he was put on a ventilator at one point. They were trying to get her to sign a do not resuscitate, and she didn't want to do it. So she didn't do it. One point she said that, she just said they go to the church where Randall Cunningham is the pastor.
Oh boy.
Quarterback Randall Cunningham. And, does all of that. She said, I'm just so happy he's here, and we're going to keep working at making things better. We're not going to give up. We're not throwing in the towel. Well, February 5th, 2021, he dies in a hospital in Henderson, Nevada at the age of 67.
Oh, that's so young.
So young. And he says, I'll give the last quote to Leon here because he's a fucking fun guy, man. Yeah. He says, quote, "They may have taken everything else off of me, but that is the one thing they can't take. That at one time I was king of the world."
Mm-hmm.
Fuck yeah. Can't get enough. There's a ton of Leon Spinks shit out there, man. There's signed gloves. I don't know if they're real or not, but there's tons of like signed Leon stuff. And even like he hung out signing autographs for years and years and years. So there's a ton of glut of Leon shit out there.
Yeah.
It might even be real. There's so much of it.
He needed the cash.
He needed the cash. So that, everybody, is Leon Spinks. One hell of a crazy story. Just a big dick, no tooth, fucking crazy guy.
And my dad's going to die the same way he died. That's fucking crazy.
That's tough, man.
It's the exact same thing that he's got.
Oh, because it spread to his bones.
Yeah.
Yeah. Started in a different place, and now it's there.
No, started the exact same place.
Okay. And then
prostate's a bone, man. That's what's going to happen.
That's fucking brutal, man.
It's brutal.
Brutal.
That's awful. Seeing a glimpse. Yeah. Thanks, Leon.
Thanks, Leon. Appreciate your fucking depressing ass. So
what a story, though.
That's Leon Spinks.
Yeah.
If you enjoy that crazy ass goddamn story, tell us about it. Tell the world about it. Get on whatever app you're listening on. Give us 5 stars. Say something nice. It helps drive us up the charts. So help us out there. Head over to shutupandgivememurder.com right now. You can get everything. Merchandise, tons of new merchandise, all sorts of good stuff on there. Also, tickets to live shows, most importantly. Small Town Murder, we are in Pittsburgh on April 8th and Columbus, Ohio on April 9th. And there's still tickets left for both of those. So get those tickets. Sell that shit out. Don't let Minneapolis and Chicago punk you. Please. Like, Philly's like sold out. Pittsburgh, don't let Eastern Pennsylvania make you look weak.
Right.
And then Ohio, since he's been sold out for months, you're going to let Cincinnati, Columbus, the place smells like sulfur in Cincinnati. You're going to let them outsell you? What the fuck are you doing? Sell that shit. Yeah, no.
They don't even have their own airport, you guys.
Oh my
Come
God,
on.
you got to fly into Kentucky, for Christ's sake. So do that, and thank you for doing that. Get your ticket, shutupandgivememurder.com today. Also, follow us on social media. We are at Crime and Sports on Twitter and Facebook, at Small Town Murder on Instagram, and Patreon this week is cooking. Patreon.com/Crime and Sports is where it's at. That's where it's at, my friends. And this week we have amazing stuff here. Anybody $5 or above is going to get access to what, Jimmy?
Oh, my goodness. Both of them, James. Both.
All of it.
Yeah.
Both shows, Small Town Murder, Crime and Sports, entire back catalogs of everything. This week for Crime and Sports, we do it like twice a year, and it's one of the most popular things that we do on here. Sure. Personal ads. Yes. There's so much fun. Through the decades, we'd go all over the country and find weird, funny, crazy personals.
Pitch themselves. It's fantastic.
It's hilarious. And then kind of coupled with that, we could say, for Small Town Murders, we are going to talk about the documentary, The Tinder Swindler, who we've just had, because of the kind of criminal element of it and the whatever, we've had a lot of people that have asked us to talk about this. So
listen to him pitch himself.
We're happy. Yeah, listen to how you do it and then see how to follow through on a scam. Right. You can do it all this week at patreon.com/crime and sports. You're also going to get a shout out at the end of the show. Jimmie will hit you off with there, and he's going to mispronounce your name while trying to get it right. Yeah. And if you just want to get a shout out and have great karma and have our undying affection, you can go to PayPal, use our email address, crimeandsports@gmail.com. That said, God damn it, Jimmie, hit me with something that's lot less heavy than Leon's long, thick, massive cock. Hit me with the names of the most wonderful people who would never scare us with their penises.
This week's executive producers are Liz Vasquez, who came to the show this weekend in Chicago.
Yeah.
She brought you a nice book that you mentioned on a Patreon show, and I will bring that
cool.
to you.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, I saw her in the front. Hello, Liz. There, I saw you. Thank you.
Roland Vogan, Jordan Bennett, of course, Janice Hill. She donates every damn week. Thank you, Janice.
So
Kyle
nice.
Mitchum, it's just Ann Anderson, Joka the Midnight Toga, Taylor Astridge, and Jack Hillman. Thank you guys truly for what you do for us.
For everything.
And I hope that you love what we give back. Other producers this week are Charles Hugel, Bo from Sweden, Jessica Finch. Oh, Jess, thank you. Jason Barnes, Corporal Carl Kirshner, Mason Quist. Oh, so there was an ambulance called to the show in, I think it was Chicago.
I heard that
was it Chicago?
It was
no, it was Milwaukee.
It was Minneapolis.
God fucking, I don't even know where I went. Minneapolis. Split his knee on a stair.
I know. He felt tired. We didn't know about it till like the next day. We were like, no shit. That happened like behind the.
Yeah.
Not like in the showroom. It was like behind. Yeah.
Yeah. Evidently fine. So
wasn't like an Astro World situation. Don't worry.
Heal up, Mason.
Yes,
Jason
please.
with no last name Forrest, the South African birdwasher whore, Captain Lou Albino, Carolyn Gala, free the pepperoni nips, evidently. Thrilled with it. Happy Hour checking in from El Paso. Jess Capanello, an Uber driver, asked us to come to their wedding. Joey Pepperoni Nips.
Hey.
Jeff Shrewsbury, firm butt cheeks. I hope you're proud of yourself. Alfred fucking Arvizo. Arvizu. Happy birthday, Kendra, Mason's girlfriend, I think. Mason didn't specify. It just said they watched the live show in a cemetery, which is fucking crazy. I hope that's your girlfriend. You don't just take a strange Steve
It's like
Schnell.
his dead aunt or something.
Steve Schnell, Lucas, what the fuck at Dakota Digital? Your boss said get back to work because he paid for this. Evan Adkins, Jordan Locke, Danielle Johnson, Emily Tarchakov.
Wow.
I don't know.
We can do this all night, Jimmy.
Teresa Lowe, Brent with no last name, Heather Luty, J Quads 12, Martine Harris, Carla Harris, M Fishboy Brummer, Amy Davies, Jacob McMurray, Fox Run Pottery Studios on Etsy, Mona with no last name, Mick B, Tech Wiz 33, Kristen Thurston, Mia Jones, Joe Robinette, Tyler Merrill, Kristen Bursey, Aaron Smith, P. Diddy Kong, Corey Huggins, Sean P. Casey, Karen Cromartie, also Karen Weist Cromartie, same person, I imagine. Jeff Wunkel, Dominique Mooney, Sean Glennon, Ricky Ibanez, Quinn B., Brian Neff, Zip Lancaster, Winter with no last name, Ryan, nope, that's Jeremy. What? Clark?
Wow, those are different names.
Jeremy
Very different
Clark.
names.
Elena Toller, Heidi Allen, Vanessa Gill, D.W., Anna Jazopovich, Daniel Newton, Justin Anderson, Melissa Walters, Elizabeth Che, Alan Hansen, Barking Spider, gross, D.D. Warren Lehner, Charles with no last name, Tyler Thompson, Molly Murphy, Carrie Curioke, oh boy, Jordan Fouts, Michaela with no last name, Kayla Moen of that Moen fortune, Jacinth Blue, I think, Bridget Summerlin, Tyler Owens, Carrie with no last name, Robin Halmunt, I think, Samantha Seaman, Jesus, Sam, I'm so sorry, Sam, Maria Furiolo, Jabari Photos, Paige Agard, Rory Highland, Michelle Leckman, Tanya with no last name, Carolina Soto, Aaron Sherrick, Megan Halsey, Pamela Brown, Elysia Nice, Thomas with no last name, Madeline B., Mike Lucero, Christopher Starks, Glenn Burley, David Beckmeyer, Concord, Joe Dirt, Melissa Simon, Tiffany Summers, Nicole Moore, Rachel Lafleur, Linda Gruss,
Oh, pardon?
Megan Cowell, Sean Sloan, Deb Schrader, Memory Alexander, Biggie Cheese, Nicholas Moore, Nelson with no last name, Rory Keane, Julie Zuschner, Emmett Wolf, Theodorus Christos.
Yes.
Kendra Kitchen, Darren Lawrence Jones, Olivia Jensen, Charlie Yonkers, Sophie Pirone, Derek Pritzel, yep, Jacob, nope, that's just Jake, Jewell, Hunter Payne, Dan Kiker, jeez Louise, Andrea with no last name, Kaylee with no last name, Ronnie Ludlam, Dan Burheit, Brahidi, Plurplexed, Sam Dean, 80 Torin, Beth with no last name, Davina with no last name, Quentin Snyders, Warren Lewis, John Holder, Elizabeth with no last name, Morgan Brewer, Morgan Berry, Chance Plower?
Plower chance.
Blake Haney, Rose Vick, Mackenzie Stoter, Aaron Hay, Paula Hinkle, John Popma. Good Christ. Nicole Fick, Danny with no last name, Taryn S., Nicholas Merange, Damian Gortman, Becca Chudecki, John Stewart, probably not, Mike Yeager, Billy Gordon, Bernadette Pavlik, Caitlin with no last name, Taylor Washington, Ethan Kanzler, Kevin Schrader, Frederick Hammond, Shamika Andrews, Shaman Trumbo, Patrick Whittington, Robert Keller, Austin Pritchard, Danielle Morris, Stacy Lazarick, Michelle Blackstone, Zalee Lewis, Tim O'Shea, Kevin Lowe, S.H. Park, Danish Sheikh, Carrie with no last name, Melissa Nelson, Ethan with no last name, Lisa Maynard, Matt Roth, Justin Phoebus, Amanda, nope, that's Autumn Moon, Chris Napawika-Walkie, Amanda Greiser, Marissa Allen McLovin, 1967, Melissa Dunmeyer, and William Forsyth, and all of our patrons. You guys are terrific. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody, for all that you do. Thank you for coming out to these live shows. Number one.
So rad. Yeah.
Thank you for that. Thank you for your support on Patreon. All that you do for us. We just hope that we are giving back as much as we're taking. So
Truly.
Thank you. Hopefully we are. How could they find us, Jimmy?
We're on the internet.
Find us?
Thank God for the internet. Thank God for it.
Yeah, otherwise we wouldn't be here. But look us up. You can go to shutupandgivememurder.com. Links to both of us, to the show's stuff. Find all the thing. Find the shows. Find us. Keep doing it. And until, this is Crime and Sports. Live from the Crime and Sports studios. We will see you next week.
Bye.
If you like Crime and Sports, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
A few miles from the glass spires of Midtown Atlanta lies the South River Forest. In 2021 and 2022, the woods became a home to activists from all over the country who gathered to stop the nearby construction of a massive new police training facility, nicknamed Cop City.
At approximately 9 o'clock this morning, as law enforcement was moving through various sectors of the property, an individual, without warning, shot a Georgia State Patrol trooper.
This is We Came to the Forest, a story about resistance.
The abolitionist mission isn't done until every prison is empty and shut down.
Love and fellowship.
It was probably the happiest I've ever been in my life.
And the lengths we'll go to protect the things we hold closest to our hearts. Follow We Came to the Forest on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can binge all episodes of We Came to the Forest early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus.